Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. Tonight, we are talking about the case of Jack and Lilly Sullivan, ages 4 and 6 years old, who vanished from their Pictou County, Nova Scotia home on May 2nd, 2025. Since then, there's been no sighting of where Jack or Lilly is. But today, we have a special guest joining us in studio, well, not in studio, on the panel. We have Belinda Gray, the biological grandmother of Jack and Lilly Sullivan, who is going to be telling us about the day and the days after Jack and Lilly Sullivan vanished. We're going to learn about a lot of this tonight on the other side of this.
I've walked through storms in scars and grace, smile through pain with a painted face. They called me too loud, too much, too strong, but honey, that's the reason I belong. Every scar's a scripture, every tear's a hymn. I found my worth where the light grew dim. They tried to break me, but here's a twist. I turned my pain into a clenched fist. I'm an unbreakable woman, born of fire and pearl. I shine like grace in a reckless world. You can test my faith, you can shake my plan, but I'll rise again. Just watch me judged by the gloss, not the cost. But God don't build weak hearts from gold. He made me fierce and he made me bold. I bend, I pray, I roar, I rise with mascara, tears and battle cries. Don't need your crown, I forge my own. From ashes, honey, I build my throne. I'm an unbreakable soul, dressed in truth and pearls. The fire don't scare me, it lights my world. You can doubt my voice, but you'll hear my name. I'm holy and hood, and I'm done with shame. For everyone called too much, too loud, too real. You're not to anything. You're exactly what power looks like. I'm an unbreakable soul, through the fight and flame. My scars are stories, my strength, my faith. Faith in my heart, fire in my curls, forever divine. Clutch them pearls.
And in clutch, better tighten the pearls. Drop the cold facts, got the truth for the world. No smoke, no fluff, just the real that we trust. Hold on to your seat, cause I'm coming in clutch. Coming in clutch. Coming in clutch, better tighten the pearls. Dropping cold facts, got the truth for the world. No smoke, no fluff, just the real that we trust. Hold on to your seat, cause I'm coming in clutch. Coming in clutch.
Well, hello, everyone. Good to see you all. Thank you all so very much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. You could have chosen to be anywhere on YouTube. You have a lot of options, anywhere on the internet, anywhere in the world, and you chose to be right here. I know your time is very valuable, and I do appreciate you spending some time with me. Today is July 25th, 2026. It is currently 8:41 p.m. on the east coast of the United States. Bonjour. Hello, my beautiful Pearl. Good to see you all. Thank you guys very, very much for joining me tonight. We are talking about the Jack and Lilly Sullivan case, ages 4 and 6 years old, who vanished from their Pictou County, Nova Scotia home on May 2nd, 2025. Tonight, we have a very, very special guest joining us, Miss Belinda Gray, who is the biological grandmother of Jack and Lilly, and who has really been here. There's that damn thing. Sorry, I got fruit flies from Remy, my spider monkey, who has been here since the beginning of fighting for Jack and Lilly. The only one, in my opinion, who has not came without a motive. She just wants her grandparents found. Thank you so much, Angel Kisses. Appreciate you very much. Hello, Miss Belinda.
Hi.
How you doing?
Not too bad. I just want to thank you again for inviting me up.
Oh,
And I want to thank everybody that's out there watching for loving Lily and Jack.
of course, of course. Miss Eureka, I have them. I have the apple cider. I have those, but sorry to get off a little track here, Belinda. I have a spider monkey, and she eats fruit. That's all she eats is fruit, and it's a
Nothing
Anyway.
wrong with it.
Okay. Anyway, so moving on here. So tonight we're talking about Jack and Lilly, and we're going on over a year, and it's been a year way too long. Certainly everyone can agree on that, I think, right, Miss Belinda? It's probably been the longest year of your life.
450 days.
450 days. Let me just before we get to the harder questions and stuff like that, what was Jack and Lilly like? How would you describe Jack and Lilly?
Lily was our little princess. That's what we called her, our princess. She was my first granddaughter. She was beautiful. She was a ray of sunshine. That she smiled all the time. There was very rarely a time that she wasn't smiling. She was very happy. I used to think she lived in her own make-believe world. She would play with her dolls, the toys, and she'd be chattering to herself like she was having a full conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Jack was still a mama's baby. The last time he was here, he was just starting to walk.
Oh,
That
Lily.
he was quiet. Jack was really quiet. He was somber. He reminded me so much of my son. They took life very seriously.
Yeah. Everyone just born with their personality. You know what I mean? And I've got 3 kids, and I've got twins, and just totally opposite. You know what I mean? Just total opposites. You can treat them the same and everything, and you are who you are, kind of,
Yes.
with your personality. Lily had just a beautiful, beautiful smile, and Jack was just a boy's boy. It just seemed like, you know what I mean? Like he was just a boy's boy.
I believe so, yes.
Yeah.
I really would have loved to have seen him when he started school and that, and seeing the pictures that Malehya had posted out, and now seeing there's quite a few pictures out now that I have not supplied.
Mm-hmm.
So they must be coming from Malehya's side of the family.
Mm-hmm.
And Jack has changed so much since the last time I've seen him. And to hear Daniel and Janie talk about how he didn't want them hurting the worms and feeding them to the chickens, and they were his friends. It really broke my heart, because I never got to see that in him.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I know that is my soul. That is the way I am.
Yeah.
So It was bittersweet to hear how he's been described.
Mm-hmm. I mean, Belinda, I always say, 4 and 6 years old, 4 and 6 years, when you're our age, and older, like, that's really nothing.
No, it's not, but I know as a child because I remember my children, and I know 18 months that I never seen them. That's almost like a lifetime because they go
Oh,
through so many
yeah,
changes.
yeah. But I'm just saying, just to be on Earth only 4 and 6 years is
As babies.
unspeakable. So, where were like when you were first learned Jack and Lily? Where were you when you first learned that they could not be found?
I was in Halifax, which is about almost a 2-hour drive from where I live.
Oh wow. Okay. And who contacted you?
The mother of my other grandson contacted me to see if I had heard the news. This was around 1 in the afternoon, 1:30.
And it was the day that it was on Friday when they went missing.
Yes.
Okay.
And I asked her what was she talking about. I hadn't heard anything. I mean, we go to town to shop, so I wasn't on my phone. And she sent me a link on Facebook stating that they were missing.
Your heart had to go through the floor.
Yeah, there's no words to describe the feeling I had right away. Not too many people know this, but as I was reading the article that was on Facebook, all I could picture was the pictures on milk jugs.
Yeah.
That's the
that
first
stereotypical. Yeah, my grandkids are like on the milk jugs thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Malehya did not contact you.
No.
Okay.
No, we had to wait till we were down one vehicle because our truck's off the road right now. So we were traveling with my stepson. So we had to wait till he got off work before we could head back home.
Right.
And we made it back home, and right away I sent a message to Malehya through Messenger. And she did contact me back.
Right. How long was it before she contacted you back? Like, was it pretty quickly?
It was fairly quick. It was about maybe 20 minutes, but it was fairly quick.
Right. And you shared some messages with me here. Let me
Yes.
put some of them up. Those. So, I don't think I have them in order, but I'll pop those up.
Some of those I think were on Friday night, and there might have been some from Saturday night.
And when you went there Saturday, right?
Yes.
Was that when you went there Saturday?
Yes.
Okay. These are not, I'm not sure if they're in order or anything, but it says, I guess they got through the back door and we can't hear the door, and they got outside. They like exploring the woods and playing in the woods under our supervision. I just can't believe this is actually happening right now. This is the mother of Jack and Lily texting this to Belinda. I never thought they'd run off on me like that. And then she says here, this is like 1:30 in the morning. Can I please get Cody's number? And the police are trying to locate him. Have they had contact with him recently? So they, it seems like, just in my opinion, that Malehya, which of course they're going to check your son, to make sure he's the biological father.
Yes.
But it seems like, just in my opinion, that Malehya was trying to push this off on any way, like anywhere she could, especially after Friday.
We
Going in,
had no idea that Malehya was the one that contacted RCMP, that she believed maybe Cody took them. We had no idea it was Malehya, that we were told an anonymous tip had come in.
an anonymous tip. Interesting. And then I guess you said you must be worried sick. Let me know if anything, anytime. And she said, yes, I will. I am. I don't know what to do. And you write, are the neighbors close? She says, not too close. We live on Gairloch Road. And you said, I heard they are bringing in other search teams to search, hoping, they're home soon. And then she says, they've been searching since 9:40. And she says they like to wonder a lot, which is not what she told the news. That's not what she told the news right then. And, she's like, they would never wander off. This is not like them, kind of thing. But here she's saying that. And she says, we have a big search team right now and more coming. They also want information about Cody because he doesn't see them. And of course, I'm sure they want information about Cody, but in my opinion, Malehya is painting the picture. Trying to push it off on Cody a little bit. And you said, no, not yet. Malehya says, no, not yet. They have boots on, and Lily has her white backpack with strawberries, and she should be in a pink, and Jack, a darker colored clothes. Jack has dino boots. Lily has pink boots. And you say, do they have coats? And she says, no, they didn't have anything on. Yes, thank you, Cher. If you know something, say something. We won't stop. No, I'm not going to stop. Appreciate you, my dear. Malehya says, you are welcome to come search with the people. However, the search and rescue do not want others in the woods because they are going by protocol. Now, this is interesting because I do believe that the searchers didn't want other people in the woods, but Mr. Daniel, in my opinion, weaseled his way into the woods.
Yes, he did.
From pretty much the very beginning. And I'll ask you some questions on that. I just want to go over these messages real quick. Many are suspecting they were picked up by somebody. Again, interesting. I feel like her and Daniel started this narrative, and this is Friday night going into Saturday morning when you were getting these messages, right? Yeah. And I feel like that evening they started to switch it because, a 4 and a 6-year-old should have been found really close. You know what I mean? They should have been found. Patty, thank you so much, hon. Because there is no trace of them or Lily's backpack. And then Malehya says, yes, we are telling them that because they should have been found by now. Jack has trouble going through the woods. And normally, they don't go out of the yard. But just a minute ago, she said they like to wander. The only bloodhound in Nova Scotia is looking for them, and they have a better chance at finding them because they track their scent. And she says, thank you, Belinda. Any help is best. I'm scared, worried, and I don't know what to do. And then she says, I'm praying and praying. I want my babies home. I'm so sick. And then she gives you the address. She says, yes, everyone is here. Even people I never thought. And you ask if there's, the bloodhound picks up anything. She says, no, not a thing. Are they still searching the woods? And she says, yes, but no helicopter or drones or dogs till the morning. And then this is the picture that Malehya sent you
Yes.
about the footprints. I do want to ask you about those footprints in a second, but when you got there, can you tell me what you remember? Can you paint the picture for us on what you seen, heard, saw, all of that?
When we first started driving there and we were getting what we assumed was closer, that my sister was driving, the moment I seen the trailer and the address, and it's like I had seen the place before a few times. There were a few cars out on the road. We passed Lansdowne Station Road, and that was blocked off. So we knew that's where the search party was. When we started to walk into the driveway, I noticed a woman, a guy, a police officer, another woman in the driveway. I found out it was Janie. Janie was sitting on this bench thing. Justin was standing there, and I learned it was Logan. It was Logan sitting beside Janie, and she was rubbing her. Janie was quite upset. She was crying a lot, and all we heard was the policewoman was stating that we have to check your trailer. And she was stating that her trailer was searched, and Logan was telling her that it was okay. She said, "It's okay, Mom. Nobody's blaming you. Nobody's blaming you. They just want to look in the trailer." She said, "It's okay." And the police officer stated that what you're doing is impeding an investigation, and I'll have to get a search warrant. And we just didn't feel right standing there eavesdropping, so we continued into the trailer.
That had to be bizarre. I mean,
it was very bizarre.
I mean, you think, this someone who lives on the property, yeah, do whatever you can to find the kids. Whatever you need to find these kids, just go in there, right?
Now, her dog, you could hear her dog all the way down the road. Whatever dog was in that trailer, that dog just barked continuously. It did not stop.
The news reporters said that the dog barked nonstop as well. They said the dog just never shut up. And, I just can't imagine this just has to be a whirlwind, almost like a dream. When you're experiencing something so traumatic, it does feel like a dream. And then, someone on the property is saying, my camper's been checked, and ma'am, you're impeding an investigation here if you don't, let us go in. And what time did you arrive there approximately Saturday?
I think it was between 10:30 and 11.
Okay. So 10:30, 11 in the morning.
Yeah.
You're there. And then after you see the RCMP and Janie and I guess Logan there, RCMP or Logan saying, "Mom, they're not saying that you're involved, I forget how you worded it.
Yeah, she said, "It's okay, Mom, they're not blaming you.
Yeah.
They just want to search the trailer."
Right. And then you go into Daniel and Malehya's and Jack and Lilly's trailer, right?
Yes.
Okay. And then
now maybe I should
Sure.
I should describe the rest of the yard, because right away, like I said, I had passed it before, so I had always seen garbage out around the property. So that wasn't a surprise seeing it that morning. It was a surprise knowing that's where Malehya lived. There was 2 broken down vehicles there that I spotted right off the bat, and I noticed there was a big pile of wood in the front yard, wood for the wood stove, and the shed in the back was empty. Now, the only reason why that stood out to me is afterwards, being in the kitchen and all the recyclable bottles, I didn't understand why they weren't put out in the shed, why they were all piled up in the kitchen.
Gotcha. So you go into the the trailer.
Yes.
And who all is in the trailer at that time?
Just Malehya. Patty was there sitting on the couch. Meadow was sleeping on the other side of the couch. Malehya met us at the door, and right away I went over and hugged her. And I asked her what happened, when was the last time she saw the kids herself, and she said she saw them when she put them to bed. So I asked her what they had on, and again, she told me that.
Belinda, I am so sorry. We cut out for a second. I think it was my internet. Can you start back where the door, when you walked through the door, you said, who was there?
Malehya met us. It was me and my sister that first walked in, and my daughter, I think, was coming behind.
Gotcha.
Patty was sitting on the couch onto the far wall, the back wall.
Patty's Malehya's grandmother.
Yes.
Okay.
And the baby was sleeping on the couch. It's an L-shaped couch, a sectional, so the baby was sleeping on the other end. And Malehya was standing up in the kitchen, so I walked in and I hugged her.
Okay.
And I had asked her when was the last time she had seen the kids. And she told me when she put them to bed Thursday night.
Okay. And she didn't say she checked on them during the night or anything?
No. She said that was the last time she saw them. I thought she told me, but I can't remember everything, but I thought she told me that Jack normally sleeps in his pull-up because he finds it hot.
Okay. Going back to outside, what vehicles was there that you can remember?
I know there was a vehicle. I think it was Janie's vehicle was there. I know there was a broken vehicle off to the right, another one off onto the lawn, handy the wood pile, and that looked like that couldn't run either. But those are the only 3 that stand out to me.
Yeah, and was it raining when you got there?
No, it wasn't.
Okay. And what was the atmosphere inside the house like?
Malehya was doing a lot of pacing, walking back and forth in the kitchen. Patty, you could tell she was crying. Her eyes were swollen and red, and you could see that she was very upset.
And
Malehya, when I hugged her, I can't say she overly hugged me back. She just kind of stood there.
It wasn't like an embrace. It was just more like
yeah.
You can feel if a hug's a hug.
Yes.
And then you can feel if a hug is lifeless. You
right.
know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah, I get you. I totally get that. Thank you, Lori. Appreciate you.
Now, the only thing that bothers me is right away, I asked her, I said, that's the door they went out? And she said, yes. And she went over and showed me. She opened and closed it to show me how quiet it was.
Now, you opened that door when you went in, right?
No, I went in the front door.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I went in the front door where the little porch is.
Did you notice any latches in that door or anything?
I didn't notice, but I have seen pictures, and there is deadbolt locks on those doors
Mm-hmm.
because I've seen those in pictures. But at that time, I did not notice. Both doors were open.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So when you walk into this door right here, is that the living room?
Yeah, well, actually, when you walk in that door right there, you're standing right in the kitchen. Right opposite that door is the table, the kitchen table.
Gotcha.
The counters are right off to the left. The living room is where the two windows are on the right. That's the living room.
Gotcha. Okay, and you said you noticed, was you saying something else? You noticed something? Did I miss something?
Well, right away, it struck me that the living room was bare. There was the couch, there was a table, like a coffee table, but there was nothing else in the living room. No other furniture. It was really bare, and what made it stand out is because the kitchen was really piled up. It was piled up with a lot of recyclable bags, garbage bins, and the counters were completely covered that you couldn't really make any one thing out because there was things everywhere.
Yeah.
But like I said, this was Saturday and her family was there Friday. So, I mean, you have a bunch of people over and you're eating, and so.
Right. So the living room is pretty sparse, and the kitchen was a lot of stuff in it.
Yes.
And does the kitchen and the living room, they're kind of the same room, right? But
they're the same room, but there's a half a wall.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. Did you ever see Jack and Lily's room?
No, I didn't. And I have so many regrets not asking to see their rooms, but no.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
Yeah. I would have just, hindsight's always 20/20, but I just walked back there. But you wasn't thinking all this was going to happen, I'm sure.
No, I actually thought they were going to be found any minute.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Probably thought on your way there they would be found, actually.
Yeah.
Did they provide you with any specific timeline? How long were you inside of the house there?
About 20 minutes to maybe 30 minutes total and for the morning part.
Mm-hmm. And then did they provide you with any timeline or anything other than the last time I saw them?
I asked her what time did the kids get up.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, well, they usually get up between 8 and 8:30.
8 and 8:30. Okay.
Yeah.
And did she say she called the school that morning?
No, she didn't tell me that.
Interesting.
I do have text messages where she states that she kept them home because they were sick.
Yeah, but she didn't tell you that morning.
No.
Got ya. You would
I
think
did ask her who the people were out in the driveway. I assumed, I wasn't quite sure if it was Daniel or Justin because they do look similar.
Mm-hmm.
But I assumed it had to have been Daniel's brother and not Daniel.
Right.
And she told me that was Justin, and she said that was Janie. And now my sister remembers her saying that was Logan, but for some reason, I don't remember. I just don't remember that.
Yeah.
But
the hustler made a good point. 8 to 8:30, even though they had school. Right. Kids go to school 5 days a week. And so 5 days a week, they normally get up at time for school, right? And on the weekends, they might sleep till 8 or 8:30, but that's only 2 days a week.
now I did ask her, where do they stay? And she said they stay out back, and she pointed out towards like the back patio door. She said they stay out back.
And
So
she said they.
she said the word they.
Mm-hmm. which is important because for those of you that don't know, Janie is Daniel's mother, and she lives in this camper motorhome out back. And then it's Daniel, Malehya, Jack and Lilly, and Meadow who stay in this trailer. But that day, Justin, Daniel's brother, and Janie's other son, everyone made it seem like Justin was staying with his mom, at least temporary, in this camper. And so after, was there anything else that happened in the house at that time?
I'm trying to think.
Mm-hmm.
I asked her where. I said, Malehya, I said, you're the mom. I said, nobody knows their kids better than their mom.
That's right.
I said, where do they like to play? I said, there must be places they go, and you have to get after them. And she said, the only place that they usually like to go is up in the woods where their forts are.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her, I said, well, okay. I said, we'll start up there.
Mm-hmm. So you leave the house, and then do you just start searching?
I leave the house, and right away we start walking over towards, we walk up the backyard because I wanted to see the backyard.
Sure.
And what struck me is the fence was not up that way. There was actually chicken wire up along that fencing. And I noticed a part of that chicken wire was pulled down.
Mm. Really?
So, yeah, part of that chicken wire was pulled off from the corner.
Mm.
Now, I can't remember if I went back in and asked Malehya or if I waited till I come back from that first search before I asked her. But I did ask her about that chicken wire being pulled off. And she said, well, that's how the kids get out. And I thought, well, that's strange because the other side, it's all open. Why would they crawl through the chicken wire when it was open?
Yeah. To me, that seems a little, in my opinion, I'll say that seems a little bit planted. Like, oh, that's how they get out. That's how they got out. But that's just my opinion. My opinion doesn't reflect Blinda's and vice versa. So, okay. So you ask about that. But so you go search the backyard,
Yes.
looking around, scouting out the backyard. Did anything else get you?
When we were walking by, like I said, the dog was just endless. And I'm an animal lover, and I felt so bad for the dog. So we wanted to search in behind Janie's trailer because it was right up against that embankment. So my daughter and her partner went on the one side in the back to have a look, and I walked by the front. And when I walked by the front, the dog was barking, and I turned my head, and the dog's nose was right in the window facing me. I couldn't make out what kind of a dog it was. It was just a big mouse dog whose face disappeared when it opened. Now, if Janie's dog can open its mouth that wide, well, then I'll say it's Janie's dog. But the dog I seen, when its mouth was opened, right away it struck me. It's a good thing it's in there because it was really agitated. The bark was an aggressive bark.
Right.
And I know it could have ripped half my face off.
Yeah.
That's how big the dog's mouth was.
Right. And Tucker, he's small. He might be considered a medium-sized dog, but he's certainly not a dog that would tear your face off.
Well, he never struck me that, considering other times that I've gone back to the property and the dog's never once barked. I've actually never even seen him after that when I went back twice.
Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah. The first few days that even the reporter said the dog never stops barking, but now it doesn't seem like there's a barking dog there.
Yeah.
So after you look at the yard and all of that, what's next? What
We
happens?
head up to the forts where the kids played. We
Mhm.
seen the half log fort there. We
Mhm.
seen the branch fort. My daughter, she went up to the one where it shows the ladder going up.
Uh-huh.
That's where she went to check out first. So my sister and I went to the other two.
Mhm.
We looked around there. My sister and her partner went off to one side, and me and my sister went to the back.
What do you
We
mean the
walked,
back?
well, the back, when you go head straight up and back, that'll take you to that back road
Oh,
that's
gotcha.
up and
The
behind their property.
Yeah.
So we walked up to that, and we started following that trail, hollering for Lily and Jack. We come across one well, we checked that. We went up to the wood line because there's quite a field there. So we went up to that wood line to see if there was any trails, animal trails that the kids would follow. But only one. We only found one animal trail, and it only went in about 10 to 15 feet, and then it stopped. And there was no way the kids were going to go beyond that.
Right.
So we come back out off to the left of that old road. There's a big dump site. A lot of garbage is dumped back there. Now, there were searchers throughout that part of the woods.
Was there a lot of searchers at that time?
There was a lot of searchers, but not on Daniel's side. The majority of the searching on Saturday, they were across the road.
Across, like
Yes,
okay,
that's
gotcha.
where the helicopters were, and that's where the drones were. Every now and then, a drone would come over on our side.
Mhm. Okay. Okay, so y'all were searching back, like where the
The old dirt road was
Yeah.
following that.
Gotcha.
As we're following that, we'd come across frog ponds, so we'd stop and we'd go around the frog ponds and see if it looked like any little footprints were around there, anything, and calling for Lily and Jack, and nothing. As we were heading up further towards, I guess it would be Lansdowne Road, because that's where that trail kind of goes if you keep following it, and then you have to cut through the woods. We come across a gentleman that was coming out. I'm not sure who this gentleman is to this day. I don't know who he was. He was a big, heavy-set guy. He didn't have on the orange vest that most of the searchers had. He had an axe. And he
where is
stayed.
this at?
This is on the old dirt road.
Out through here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, now you see where that field is, that open part. That's an open field, right? We were going right where your arrow's going,
Right
and
here?
up the right. Keep going up. Not to that one, in the direction you were going, off to the left.
This right here?
Yeah, the trail.
Okay, gotcha.
He met us, and he asked if we were searching. We said yes, and he said he'd just come from in the back part. And we said, well, okay. And he said, there's nothing, no sign of anything up there. And he noticed me looking at his axe, and he said, I don't go anywhere in the woods without carrying an axe. He said, you don't know about wildlife. And he said, another thing to keep your eyes open for, he said, pay attention to the birds flying overhead. He said, because if there's anything laying dead, he said that the birds will gather. And I told him that I had already known that part anyway.
That had
So
to be
we had walked back out with him. And then I stopped, and we were gone for about maybe 2 hours. And when we come back out, there was a lot more activity in Malehya's yard, quite a few more people. Like I said, I didn't know anybody. I had never met anybody. So we went back in the trailer, and I think that might have been when I asked Malehya about that fencing part. But I asked her if she had heard any news yet, if she heard anything about the prints that were found. And she said no, but she said she thought maybe they were Jack's because they had found the bare footprints.
You said you asked if she heard what?
If she heard any more on the boot prints that were found.
Okay, so the boot prints had been found that night, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And what did she say?
She said no. She said she thought they were Jack's because he was always taking his boots off. So she swears that they must be Jack's.
What does that mean? He's taking his boots off. If he took his boots off, his boots would be there.
Right. But no, these here, the prints were supposed to be found up on the pipeline, I think it was.
Yep.
Well, they were bare feet. There were boot prints there, but apparently there was bare footprints there also.
When you mean bare, do you mean bare like a
bare
normal
feet.
bear?
Like no socks on his feet.
Oh.
And she said Jack always takes his boots off, so she thinks they're his.
I've never heard the bare feet like that. Okay. Interesting. Okay. And who's in the house at that time when you go back in?
Patty was still there. Meadow was, the baby was awake. Malehya had the baby on her hip. There was another woman in there, but I'm not sure who she was. Then we went outside, and Malehya was going around talking to different groups of people that were in the yard.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that I was surprised that she didn't overly appear to be upset. She was just going from group to group, having conversations. She went to Janie. Janie was with Justin, and they had the four-wheeler. And Janie stated that they're going to be heading back out.
And they're in the four-wheeler and Janie and them are in the yard, or they're in the house?
They're in the yard.
Okay.
So Janie said to Malehya, if the police come to search her trailer, she wanted her to hold on to the dog. And Malehya said not to worry, that she would hold the dog on.
Mm-hmm.
And then Janie told Justin to park his car over in the next door neighbor driveway because nobody had any business going up there. That place was well searched and it was nobody's business. And she's talking about the old schoolhouse where the pig gate is.
Okay.
So Justin headed over there. Now, I asked Malehya where Daniel was.
Mm-hmm.
And she stated that Daniel's been searching ever since the kid's been missing. He's hardly been home.
Okay. So Janie said where the schoolhouse is.
Yeah, she just said, she didn't say schoolhouse. She said, I want you to park your car in the driveway next door. And right away, my sister and I were kind of like, okay, what are we talking about? So we just kind of stood there to listen.
Mm-hmm.
And she stated, nobody has any business being over there. That place was searched. I searched it myself.
Okay.
And he took the car and he parked it over. So we told Malehya that we were going to head back out to search. So right away, my sister and I and my daughter and her man, we want to know what's over there.
Mm-hmm.
So we went up and back of that place, which is going through the children's forts again.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a little trail through the woods and it takes you across the road. And then you come to a cabin. The cabin's actually a very nice looking cabin.
Right there.
It's well taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
And a little strip of wood separates that from the old schoolhouse.
Is this the schoolhouse right here?
Yes.
Right
That's
there.
the cabin right there.
Yeah.
And right across,
Right there?
no, keep going, right on the other side of that driveway area, that's the schoolhouse.
That's not it right there? The
No,
14. That's the
that one,
cabin.
that is the old schoolhouse right there that you
Okay.
have your thing on. That is the old schoolhouse.
Gotcha. Okay.
So we want it now, right where that driveway comes down to the main road,
Mm-hmm.
over where that schoolhouse is.
Right.
That's where
Mhm.
Justin's car was parked. And that's where there's a pig gate. It's a gate, and it's got a pit. It's a big plastic pig on top of the gate.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where Justin had his vehicle parked.
Okay. Now, you asked where Danny Boy was.
Yes.
And Malehya said what?
He's been in the woods searching since the children went missing.
Mm.
That she said he comes home long enough to have a bite to eat, and he's out searching again.
When did you see Daniel that day?
No.
No. Okay. And after Malehya's in the yard kind of going from group to group, she's not seeming really upset that you would
No.
expect, much less one child going missing. She's got 2.
Mm-hmm.
What else is going on?
I did ask her, did she go out and search at all or yell for the kids? And she said no. She said they told her that she wanted to, they wanted her to stay in the home.
Yeah.
And so I asked her, I said, well, did they take your voice recording or anything yelling? And yeah, she said no. That I said, because they'd recognize your voice, because there was talk in the beginning that maybe they wouldn't want to answer with strangers yelling or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I said, well, why not play your voice if you didn't want to go out searching, and have them play your voice?
Mm-hmm. And what else is going on? What else happens?
We went back to search over by the schoolhouse and the cabin.
Mm-hmm.
There was a well there, but it's a really small hold well, so it's an artesian well. So we still looked into it. It's only big enough to fit maybe a bucket. We still checked it. We checked under the brush piles there. We went along the house. We peered into the window of the old schoolhouse, and all you could see was bare floor and a little staircase and where it goes up.
Mm-hmm.
But the schoolhouse had a brand new lock on it. Brand new. A brand new lock and a brand new latch that the lock goes into. They were brand new. The old rusty screws were on the step part of that. But we went around. There's a garbage pile right in back where an old shed or whatever had fallen down, and we looked through that, and we kind of tapped on the walls just to see if there would be any movement or noise coming from inside.
Mm-hmm.
But there was nothing.
Did you find anything while you were searching that was interesting or weird to you?
No. I wish I would have looked through some of the dump piles that we come across, but I wasn't thinking along those lines.
Right. Well, and it's near impossible for those 2 children to get anywhere. It was, I'm sure, tiring for you and everyone else out there searching, and just the amount of trees that has fallen over. It's swampy. It's not Jack's little legs couldn't get that high. You know what I mean? So
we left those woods, and all of us basically knew that there's
Mhm.
no way the kids walked in the woods. Now, I'm not to say that they wouldn't have walked a trail or anything, but they definitely did not go in the woods.
Mm-hmm. Right. Now, there seems to be, like you're saying there, like when everyone was leaving the woods, there seemed to me there came a consensus of even Daniel's family saying, if they're not in the woods.
Yeah.
And like after it was searched, Friday, all throughout the day, Friday night into Saturday morning, into Saturday afternoon, when you're there, how long were you there that day?
We got there between that morning around 10:30. We left Handy 4. It was just before the fight broke out, because when we left, we were sitting in the car cooling down, and we seen Wade come out of the trailer, and he got into a vehicle, and my sister said, well, what do you want to do? Should we wait around? Or I said, well, she's got her family here now. So I said, I felt a little uncomfortable because we had met the chief of Millbrook.
Mm-hmm.
He had come up to the car and stated who he was.
Mm-hmm.
And he wanted to know where the mother of the missing children lived. He said she was a part of his, he had a word for it, and I can't remember the exact word. So we told him that he can't miss it. Just, it's the place right there. And he said, okay. I went back in to say goodbye to Malehya, and they were having a prayer sing around the table, that he had the phone down and you could hear voices on the phone. And he was sitting at the table. Malehya was at the table. There was another woman at the table, but I can't remember. Patty was still in the living room.
And Daniel's not there.
Daniel's not there.
And this is Saturday evening.
Yes. Yeah, well, early evening, I guess, 4:00. So.
Okay, right.
So I didn't feel right about staying there. Because it seemed to be a private thing. So when I went out with my sister and we were sitting in the car, we seen Cindy haul up. I'm not sure who the lady was with Cindy, but she showed up with another woman and they went into the trailer. Wade was in a different vehicle. He went into the trailer, and then Wade come back out. And I thought, well, you know what? We'll head out now. And that's what we did.
So y'all get ready to head out, and you guys had just missed the argument.
Yeah.
Was there any tension when you were there that it felt like?
There was one girl with long dark hair. I don't know who she is. I haven't seen any pictures of her since, but there was a long-haired girl, and she was stating that she doesn't want to be around somebody, that she wasn't putting up with any of this shit. But I still don't know who she was or what she was talking about. And I just thought, wow, what's going on here? But.
Okay. And then this, which you weren't there for that, but can you just, can you talk about, just inform the audience on this fight that allegedly, breaks out, what you've heard about it,
what I have heard is Malehya's family, Haley, has stated that she confronted Malehya about drugs that apparently were found in the bathroom, and she asked Malehya to fess up on what was going on.
Right.
And Malehya told her that Daniel's been doing drugs for the last couple years.
Mm-hmm.
And then I've also heard that Malehya's family was accusing Daniel of doing something with the children.
Mm-hmm. I think it was a combination of both, to be honest
Yeah.
with you. I think it started with the rugs, and then, we know that
That's
not
what,
right in this home.
right.
And what'd you do with the kids?
Hmm.
Kind of thing.
And
So,
then I heard Janie asked Cheryl and Haley and all them to leave the property.
yeah, she did. She did. She said that with her own mouth. Mm-hmm. So Haley is Malehya's stepsister, half sister, whatever you want to call it. And
Yeah, she's a stepsister.
they claim that Daniel was in the bathroom, and he was in there making a lot of noise, banging around and stuff like that. And somebody had to use the bathroom, and they go in there and they see this on the hot water tank. They actually take a picture.
Yeah.
And that's when Haley comes outside and she says, quote, "Malehya, get to fucking talking," end quote. And
Yeah.
Malehya breaks down at that time and says Daniel's been doing rugs for at least a couple years, since I think Meadow had been born, at least since then.
Mhm.
And that's when kind of all hell breaks loose. And Janie, the Daniel's mother who lives in the camper, she told his family to, kick rocks, get out of here.
Yeah.
And that's kind of when everyone really knew something was wrong here. I think that's like when it came solidified, because you just don't tell someone to get out of here when you're searching for kids. You just don't. It's not about you or anybody else. And so then, so you guys leave, and I'm assuming you go back home that night, right?
Yes.
Thank you,
Yes.
Happy Turtle. Thank you, Cindy. Appreciate you guys very much. And that night, is this when Malehya starts texting you those text messages, right?
Those first ones, that was Friday night when
Oh,
she
that's
was
right. Okay.
texting the
That's
first
Friday night.
ones.
Okay.
We did text that night. The police showed up, I think, around 3:00 in the morning, somewhere around there.
Mm-hmm. The RCMP.
Yeah.
They show up at you and your son. Your son was living with you at the time. And, they pull in your driveway at 3:00 in the morning, and they interview your son.
Well, I can't say they interview him then.
Okay.
They just come to the door. I answered, and they said, "You know why we're here?" I said, "Yes." And they said, "We'd like to talk to Cody." I said, "No problem. I'll go wake him up." So I went in and woke him up. And he come out, and they asked him when was the last time he saw Lily and Jack, and he told them. And they said, "Okay, thank you very much." They shined the light around the driveway when they went back out.
Sure.
Like I said, the only thing that struck me off is they didn't ask to look in my home. And I thought that was strange, because if it was me, if I was a cop, I would have asked. I would have asked, even if it was just to see if I was going to refuse, I still would have asked.
Right. I mean, they're asking for Janie's place,
Right.
and I mean,
So
people,
that bothered me, and it bothered me thinking, if they didn't ask me,
what did they not ask them?
Right.
Sure. And Belinda, I support the RCMP, but I think that they made some big mistakes here in the beginning, and I think that they've had to work double time to make up those mistakes.
I believe so.
I think that there should have not been a family or anybody in that trailer that day.
Now, when I asked one of the searchers Saturday when we first arrived, because they had people guarding Lansdowne Station Road, and I had asked if we were allowed to search, and she said, we don't want nobody on this side of the road because we have our dogs in there, and it would distract the dog scent for what they go off of. But she said the other side has been searched, and you can research those areas.
Okay. Yeah. For Daniel, for them to allow Daniel to be out there doing whatever the hell he was doing, and in my opinion, it wasn't anything good. They should have had them near the command center or in a freaking hotel or somewhere. But the family should have not spent the night in that house. Janie should have not spent, there should have been nobody on that property until the scene was investigated, tests were ran, and everything was cleared. So I think that
sadly, I think the RCMP were just like me when I showed up.
Of course.
We really thought the kids were in the woods, that they had just wandered off.
Yeah. Thank you, Inhale. Appreciate you. And this is the thing. I always say 99% of the time it is that. It's just that 99% of the time or more, 99.5% of the time. But the 0.5% of the time is really where it matters. And that's when there's foul play. And just like this sheriff in South Carolina with the case I just covered, I think you might have been in chat when I was doing one of the live streams. He didn't let the dad go back to his house. You know what I mean? Like they locked it down quick. And I do think in Jack and Lily's case, Sebastian Rogers, Summer Wells' case, that they just thought kids got out, and they'd be there 10 minutes and find them. But that sadly was not the case. Thank you, Inhale, for the floating heart, honey. Appreciate you. Okay, so as the days roll on, the first few days, what are you learning? What are you hearing? Do you have any more communication with Malehya? Do you talk to Daniel?
I tried to reach out to Malehya, and I couldn't reach her. That her Facebook was down.
Yes. So for those of you that don't know, Malehya ended up leaving Saturday right after Belinda. Wasn't it Saturday?
Yes.
Okay. So Saturday was the press. Was you there at the press conference?
I didn't even know there was going to be a press conference. I wasn't told.
Gotcha. So there was a press conference Saturday evening. And right around the time of this press conference, Malehya has a breakdown, essentially. And they put her in the back of an ambulance. Not Janie. What's her mom's name? Cindy goes in the back of the ambulance. Daniel is there. And it's like there's tug of war, in my opinion, between Cindy and Daniel. And they was in there a few minutes, and Malehya comes out and says, I have to go with my mom. And there's a kind of a fight between Cindy and Daniel. Daniel kind of cusses at Cindy a little bit. And was CPS there Saturday?
I don't know, to be honest, because I never recognized anybody to say they were CPS.
Right.
I do know that once that police woman left, I never seen any other police that day.
You say that again?
I never seen any police. My sister and I were actually looking to find any type of an RCMP officer because we had a few questions we wanted to ask.
So you just see searchers, but you don't see really anybody in an RCMP uniform.
No,
Is that what you're
nobody.
saying?
Once that woman left, that was it. I seen no more police that day.
Gotcha. So Malehya, Jack and Lilly goes missing on allegedly Friday morning, and they call 911. They're there by 10:30 something, I believe it is, 10:25, somewhere around there that morning. And by Saturday evening, the mother of Jack and Lilly Sullivan has already left the home. And that had to be a big aha moment for you.
I had no idea she left. I couldn't get a hold of her. So we went back. My niece went on Sunday to search, and we went back on Monday.
Got you.
And we searched in a side-by-side because I wanted to do out further of the trails. So we had a side-by-side that we searched. At the end of that day, we come back, and I went into the driveway. Logan was there. Daniel was given an interview out at the end of the driveway. Justin was there. That's when Justin was crying.
Okay. Tell us about that when
I was walking into the driveway, I passed Daniel giving his interview, and I seen Logan and them down towards the trailer. As I started walking in, all of a sudden Justin started walking towards me, and you could see he had tears streaming down his face, and he kind of put his arm up because maybe he was embarrassed. I don't know.
Like this?
But he
kind of like this? Like what? How do you?
Yeah. He just kind of put his elbow up by his face as he walked by.
Gotcha. Okay.
When I got down, right away, Logan said, "Who are you and what do you want?" And I told her who I was, and she started to get lippy. And I told her, I said, "Look," I said, "I'm the grandmother." I said, "Don't get lippy with me." And right away, she apologized. She said, "I am so sorry. I had no idea." She said, "It's crazy here." I said, "Where's Malehya?" And she said, "Malehya's gone." And I said, "What do you mean she's gone?"
Oh my God. And that had, and you learning that had to be like, what do you mean the mother of my grandchildren are gone? Like, what do you, like, it had to just feel like I would just feel hollow. You know what I mean? Like,
it was like getting a kick in the guts. That's what that was like.
Yeah. You had to know something then, I think, in your heart.
When I asked her, what did she mean? And she said, "Malehya up and left." And she said, right after they had the briefing, Malehya took off, and they haven't heard from her since. And she said, "What kind of a mother leaves a place where her kids went missing? She was supposed to come with me. My car was packed. Her and the baby were coming with me to stay with me." She said, and whatever her mother said to her, she was out of here. We had to take everything from my car and put it into Cindy's car.
And what happens after that? Do you talk to Janie? Do you talk to Daniel?
I don't talk to Janie. I don't even see Janie that at that point. I never seen her at all.
Okay, so tell us more about Justin crying.
I don't know what he was upset about. I don't know. Whatever they were talking about before I got there. He was definitely upset.
And Justin, again, is Daniel's brother. He really has no blood affiliation to Jack and Lily.
It struck me as odd that he would be that upset, right? Because Malehya didn't even cry. I'd never seen Malehya cry.
Daniel's not crying.
Janie was crying on Saturday.
Okay.
And then Monday, Justin was crying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And
Logan seemed to be angry. Logan was angry.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That she said her and Daniel went through the trailer to go through all the kids' clothes to try to figure out exactly what the kids were wearing. That's what she said.
That's some bullshit. Sorry. So after that, what do you do Sunday?
My sister asked, this was Monday.
Monday, sorry, I apologize.
My sister asked if we should still continue to search, and I told her no. I said, if Malehya left, I said, I know they're not coming back. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and
so we left.
This is Monday. She had already been gone essentially 2 days. 2 days already.
Yep. Right away when I couldn't reach her, I was actually worried something happened to her.
Well, yeah, because I mean, this isn't the Malehya that you knew.
No.
Right.
We actually thought the world of Malehya.
Yeah.
I was proud to have her as the mother of my grandkids.
Right. She was, I mean, Malehya, she seemed like, at one point,
she was sweet. She was happy. She was easy to get along with.
Right. She doesn't seem like a confrontational person, that's for sure. Right? Like she doesn't seem like a confrontational person, and all that. And so once you realized Malehya wasn't there,
I started to look at things differently then.
Yeah.
I come home and I wanted to play her interview over. I wanted to see her interview again.
What do you think about that interview?
Well, right away, a couple of things stood out to me. It didn't stand out when I first seen it. It was the second time seeing it after she left that it's like, there is something just so wrong with this picture. There is something wrong here.
Mm-hmm.
And when I couldn't get a hold of her, and I actually thought, my God, the kids went missing and now she's missing. So I contacted a couple people I knew that were friends with her and asked if they had heard anything from her. And they said no. I said, I can't reach her. I said, she's actually got me blocked on Messenger. She goes, well, let me go check. So she got back to me and she said she was able to reach. She said she did take down her Facebook, but she said she hasn't blocked me from Messenger. And she told me to tell you that her and the baby are fine. They're safe. And if I want any information about my grandchildren, I could contact the RCMP.
Okay. I'm going to play this for a second, if you don't mind. This is the interview. And this is real. This is the only interview that she's did in over a year. It's a very short interview.
I want to hold them. And I want them home. What happened was we woke up, I heard them playing in the next room beside us, and I was drifting in and out of sleep. and they're not the type of kids that we tell them not to go outside on their own. We always make sure that we're out there with them.
If you want me to pause it of anything that you find a little bizarre, you just let me know, Belinda, okay?
Yeah.
I mean, the story does not make sense. It doesn't make sense. In the way she talks doesn't make sense either. She said she hears Jack and Lily playing in the next room because their bedrooms are side by side that morning, and the kids are so loud that they wake up the baby that was sharing the same bedroom with Malehya and Daniel. And but she doesn't tell them to be quiet or settle down. That's what parents do, right? You wake up the baby, shh, settle down there. That's what we say, right? That's a normal thing to say. Be quiet. Your kids are, your sister's sleeping. Chill out. You go in there, or you might slightly yell, but or something, but she doesn't check on them, which is
well, with me, I mean, with my kids and even with my cats now, I know exactly what they're doing. When I'm in my room and I hear a
1000%.
noise, I know exactly what the noise is. You know your
1000%.
children. You know what they get into.
Yes. You know exactly what toy they got in their hand.
Right.
By the sound of it. You just do. You just do. You know your kids when they're that little, more than they know themselves.
Yeah.
And you know what they're doing. You know their routine. And I'm sorry, it's not normal to put a child down at 10:30 and not check on them for 12 hours. I mean, you got to walk to pee or whatever during the night. You check in there. You get up in the morning. You make your coffee or whatever. These things are just wrong.
The only thing that bothers me is, like I said, I do have 2 children. I've let my kids go to play. I've laid in bed while they've been up and around in the house.
Of course.
Right. Everybody does.
Absolutely.
But why did they come right out? Right out. They started stating how they never let their kids go out. They're always watched. That's what struck me as off.
I mean, there's been times where I felt bad when my kids aren't little anymore, but when they were little, if I didn't feel good or whatever, I'd make them breakfast. I'd, bring them to my room. I'd let them eat or whatever and turn the TV on. You know what I mean? Or let them play or do whatever. But, you just know your kids.
The only thing that struck me in that whole conversation was when she said she was filled with pain and sorrow.
Oh, trust. Yes.
And that I just could not. I mean, Saturday when I seen her, I believe she was possibly in shock.
Mhm.
That's what it struck me as. She was in shock. She was kind of like robotic.
Yeah.
And she kept telling me she didn't know what to do. Tell her what to do. She doesn't know what to do.
Mm-hmm.
She kept saying that Saturday. The pain and sorrow. I had my daughter disappear on me once.
Mm-hmm.
It took me about 20 minutes to find her.
Mm-hmm.
I was in such sheer panic.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
And that whole day, even after, I was still in that panic thing. It wouldn't leave me. My day was off that whole day because of it.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't understand her saying she was in pain and sorrow when she should be in sheer panic.
Yes. Yes. Anytime, I don't think you can have especially multiple kids, and in 18 years, them not get out of your sight for a second, at least one time, right? I mean, that'll just happen. But whenever things like that happen, you get adrenaline You
Yes,
get a sense of urgency. You get panicked.
right.
You move the fuck around. You become mama bear or papa bear immediately. It is innate within us, Belinda. It is something that is built in us as parents. And I have seen so many of these cases. Well, they're not looking. Well, that's not natural. It is not natural. It is
It
not
didn't strike
natural.
me as natural. I know the police apparently did state that they wanted her to stay.
I get it.
I
I
just know that I wouldn't have. I couldn't have.
Listen, I understand the police wanting you to stay or whatever, but it doesn't mean you can't still be proactive in trying to find your kid,
Mhm.
right? It doesn't mean you can't be out there in front of the television.
Well, not right. And not even
Texting
just
people.
that. She could have been in her own yards yelling for them.
There's a lot of movement. That's all you want to do is when your kid goes missing is like I say, if a cat has kittens and one of them gets away, she looks.
Yeah.
It's just in us as creatures. I get emotional thinking about it right now. Seriously, like, how do you not look?
I only have to think of when my daughter disappeared, and I can still feel that panic inside me. I only have to think about it, and I can feel it.
I told the story. I was at a trade show one time for my work, and had to take my kids with me. They were little, and had my oldest beside of me, and then I had my two twins. They're younger, a little bit younger, and I was talking to one of the vendors, and this place is crowded, huge conference room. And I look over, and one of my sons, isn't there. And I remember my throat, I felt like I taste metal. I'll never forget that. I felt like I taste metal in the back of my throat, and just my fucking heart dropped to the floor. And just this sense of everything almost going dark. My kid wasn't gone for 2 minutes. Thank the Lord. But it was, hold the fucking doors, mother chicken. You know what I mean? So my thing was, I was just going toward the front doors. That way, if anybody took him, or if he was going out that way on his own, I was at the doors. Which, thank God, he wasn't that too far from the doors or anything like that. But he was just right playing under one of the little vendor tables. Scared the shit out of me.
So yeah, I thought it was odd that she would be in shock yet. That, to me, it only made sense that you're only in shock after the fact.
Yeah.
Not while it's happening.
Yeah. Panic and fear.
Yes.
Just not knowing where your kids are. I don't know. And I just cannot imagine these parents that know exactly where their kids are, or know exactly what happened, and still are having to play this game with the police and the family and the world, when they know the secret. I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. I would just rather tell the truth, get it off of my chest, and just fucking live in prison the rest of my life before I could live with that.
I don't understand why none of them have not once stated that they messed up. Even if they didn't do anything, they should have used the words they messed up. They don't know how they lost them.
Yep.
But
Yeah.
none of them once.
Yes.
Malehya's words are, she doesn't owe anybody an explanation.
Mm-hmm. And Daniel couldn't take accountability if it slapped him across the face.
So yeah, that
He's the most arrogant thing, in my opinion, that's ever stretched a piece of skin over. But that's just my opinion. Just everything that he did was right, and he was there for Jack and Lilly, and all of this stuff, and just the lies have been just dismantled over and over and over. There was a lot of things going in that house, and when you see CPS, rugs, kids missing school, bruises, right? Any type of domestic situation, financial problems, not getting the food and all of this, and the care. It's bound to happen. Over and over and over. And as my mod in here always says, these particular guys, but it can happen to women too, but they like to relocate and isolate. And if you know someone, that their partner has tried to relocate and isolate them with your grandkids or whoever in the family, be nosy. Now, Belinda, she comes from a generation. I don't want to speak for you, Miss Belinda, but this is how I feel. That you just let families be families, and whatever their decision is, you just kind of let them do their thing, right? And you didn't want to intrude.
Some degree, to be honest, Justin, my mother was a very strong-willed woman.
Mm-hmm.
Very strong-willed. She made her points known. And growing up with that, there were things that I told myself I would never be like my mother.
Right.
And one of them was, my children had the right to live their lives.
Mm-hmm.
My job as their parents, as them being adults, was to love them and to let them know that their home is always here if they need it.
Yeah.
That's how I see my role once my children grew up.
Right. You let them live their life and know that they're loved, and you're always there. Yeah. Because I know if you knew any of this was happening, it would have not happened. I know you
Every time I spoke with Malehya, I've spoken with her in the 18 months that I never got to see them. We communicated on Messenger, through Facebook, because she'd post out pictures of the kids. I congratulated her on having the baby. She was always posting out how happy she was. She was always saying how happy she was, how great it was having a guy that knows what it means to be a family and do things together.
Right. Which, that's social media. None of that shit's real, just so you know. Nobody's as happy as they appear on social media. I'm just going to tell you that.
Yeah, well, like I said, everything's been a real eye-opener this past year or so.
Yeah, it's life. It's life, and it's hard for all of it. It just
when I was talking to her in March, because I was going to be late with Lily's birthday gift, so I contacted her and told her that I was going to be a little late. And she called me back. And we talked on the phone, and she told me that no, it was no problem, that the kids were doing great, and And
Mhm.
and that she was going to bring them by for a visit. And I told her that we love that we miss them. We can't wait. And we told her again that to bring Daniel with her, that
Mhm.
we'd love to meet him.
Yeah. But I think Daniel is extraordinarily insecure. I don't think he could handle it, to be quite frank with you, for Malehya to go to your house, especially while Cody was there. I think he is way too insecure. In fact, I know he's way too insecure.
Well, I
Um,
know when she first got with Daniel, after the breakup between her and my son, she wanted my son to sign off of the kids. My son was going to sign off of his children.
mhm.
Then, about a month later, she contacted me and she stated that he's going to take Cody to court for child support, that Daniel pays child support, so Cody should be paying child support. And I said, they're his kids. It's Malehya. You got to do what's right for you and the kids.
Mhm.
I said, we support whatever you do.
Yeah. Yeah,
Then
I
she
mean, you didn't make excuses for either one of them. You know what I mean? You just said whatever you
then
guys
she
need to
told
do.
us that Daniel was probably going to adopt them, that she was changing their names. That was upsetting, but they're her
Course.
children.
Right, but she couldn't even change their diaper. So let's get real at this point when she's saying everything's going fine. I tell you. Okay. Look at those beautiful faces on there, guys. This is Jack and Lilly Sullivan, ages 4 and 6 years old, who vanished from their Pictou County, Nova Scotia home. However,
Those are the faces that I seen on the milk cartons. Those are the faces. I was glad when my daughter put more up-to-date pictures out there.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't understand why they were putting pictures out of the kids being so young, because they don't.
This is the photo with Jack's got the bruise on his cheek, right?
Yes.
Right there. Yeah, I see it. Right there. Oh man, what'd I do? 1 second here. I missed that. Okay. Let me play this interview and then I want to ask you something else. Okay, if that's okay.
Watching them, and they happened to just get out that sliding door, and
They happen to. I don't. It's not the speech. That's not the speech that you say. It's just not. They happen to. You don't say that when you are in a crisis or a panic mode. You just say they got out the door. I don't know where they're at. Not they happen to. That is minimizing what she is saying.
can't hear it when it opens. And they were outside playing, but we weren't aware of it at the time.
Did you ever open and close that door, the glass door, Linda?
No, I didn't, but I stood there in the kitchen when Malehya did.
Mm-hmm. Now, that door's heavy.
They are heavy. That I know my other granddaughter has a hard time opening and closing mine.
Yeah. It's a heavy door. You could see the TV anchor, like she had to really do it. And even Daniel and Malehya say that Jack and Lilly couldn't open that door on their own. They couldn't. They had to do it together. And hey, Queen, good to see you, baby. Thank you for joining.
I think Daniel was one that stated that himself.
Oh yeah, he sure did. He sure did. And it's these two kids putting on their boots and all of this, and then opening that door. They never normally close the door, but they somehow closed the door that morning as well. And then they go out to play in the yard a little bit, right? And this is where Janie said she heard the kids playing outside, right? She says she hears them out on the swing set. I don't
But
believe that.
Janie never tells us that she told Malehya that. Malehya states that they were outside playing, though we never knew it at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So how did she know it in that interview to say it? Janie would have had to have told her.
That's exactly
But
right.
yet Janie never states that she told Malehya they were outside playing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, you know, like I always said, I think, one of the first to bring this point up. Malehya, or Janie, says she hears the kids outside, and then a little bit later she hears Daniel, and she just happens to walk outside while Malehya's standing in front of the motorhome. First of all, Daniel and Malehya didn't go there to knock on the door to say, "Oh my God, our kids are missing on the property." Number one, they're looking for Jack and Lilly, but they're not getting the other adult on the property. But number two, Janie asked the question, how long have the kids been missing? Well, you don't need to ask that if you just heard them a few minutes
Right.
ago. What do you mean, how long's the kid? My first question was, what do you mean the kids are missing? I literally just heard them outside.
Right. There's so much about all of that just does not add up.
Well, you know, I do not believe the kids went missing Friday morning. I don't believe it. I don't believe any of that story. And I think that's why there's so many holes in it. That's just my opinion, though. And
I don't know. Today it was striking me because I asked Major Crimes, how come they don't release the video? Because generally when people go missing, if they have a picture of them, they'll release this as the last image.
I'm sorry, what do you mean the last image?
At the dollar store.
Oh, the Dollarama. Gotcha.
Yeah. And he said, I'm not sure about that. He said, I'll have to look into that.
Mm-hmm.
And it makes me wonder, they're not showing it. There's a reason why they're not showing it.
I think there's a reason why they're not showing it. In my opinion is that there was a deal done in the Dollarama parking lot. But that's my opinion, because the person who saw them at the Dollarama, he says it was 11 o'clock in the morning. No, it wasn't. Like, he gave the times way off. And but
I did hear that timing has changed.
Oh, it did. It certainly did. Yeah, he said it was 11 o'clock in the morning, and it was not even close to 11 o'clock in the morning. I think a deal was done, and I think that's why they're not doing it. I think it's why they haven't released it. That's just my opinion, though, not a fact.
And the next thing we knew, it was quiet, and we get up, and I tell him, my partner, Daniel.
You can tell she's trying to remember this, right? Because she's like, the next thing you know, it was quiet, and then she says, my partner Daniel. To me, I could hear a little disdain in her voice when she said Daniel. Partner Daniel.
Now, to me, it was this interview and being at the briefing. I think she did take a panic attack. I don't doubt that for a second.
Oh, I don't either.
And I think she took off, and she's been quiet ever since because she knew how bad this was.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I have, like I said, I've been on Jack and Lilly's case literally since day one, since a couple hours of them missing. One of my beloved subscribers in here told me about this while I was live. And I immediately got on this case because when kids first go missing, it's really important to get that out there, like really important in the beginning. And my phone just blew up, emails blew up, and locals was just contacting me, and they just said, "This is not good, Justin." Almost from jump. And once this interview came out and stepdad's interview, I was like, oh God, because I've seen it so many times. Unfortunately, seen it so many times, Miss Belinda. Hate it.
When I first, when she first showed me the picture of meeting Daniel, and I congratulated her, I felt off. Seeing this picture, it just made me feel off. And I told myself not to be silly. You shouldn't judge a book by its cover.
Mm-hmm.
She says he treats her great. He's great with the kids.
Hear the kids?
Mm-hmm. Sorry. Go ahead. Sorry, I messed that up.
And now it's like, I really should have went with that first feeling of what I felt.
You know, God gives us instincts. You know what I mean? And I think a few years ago, one of my New Year's resolutions was trust your instincts, right? Because God gives us them for a reason. Now, some people just, usually every time we go over our instincts, it teaches us a lesson. You know what I mean? But I also can't imagine being in your position, Belinda, because it is you just cannot fathom someone you know, someone that you have broke bread with, someone you have loved, someone that gave birth to your grandkids, to be in this position either. Right? And so you got to
Someone
forgive
who I
yourself.
thought cared for us too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. 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 But you've got to forgive yourself.
I understood her blocking him. I understood that if she was leaving him.
Sure.
I even understood her changing her profile to single. In my day, when you broke up with somebody, you chucked a ring across the room.
Yeah.
Today's generation, it's all done on social media, so I even understood that.
Yeah.
I didn't understand her blocking us. And she didn't just block me, she blocked my whole family.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I want you to also know she didn't do that because of you guys. She did that because she didn't want the hard questions that you guys already know. You guys know her. You guys know her. And she didn't want those hard questions of
That's what my
accountability.
hubby tells me all the time, that's what he tells me too.
Mm-hmm.
I
That's
just,
all it is. That's all it is. It's not because of you guys. It's because she doesn't want to answer those questions. And that's a big difference. A big difference. Because if these questions, wouldn't be asked or whatever, or if you would agree with her with everything that she's saying, she wouldn't block you. Because the people that agree with her with everything right now, they're not blocked. You get it? You get
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
Those people aren't blocked. Thank you, Happy Turtle. Appreciate you, honey. So that's what it is. It's the questions. It's the, Malehya, I know you and I know something isn't right. And you know something isn't right. And you know more. And why are you not doing that? Why are you not talking for your kids? Why did you leave the day after? Why have you done one interview in over a year? So that's what it is. That's what it is.
And he says no. and we get up instantly. We're looking outside, we're looking everywhere, yelling for them, and I instantly just call 911. I just had the instinct I needed to call. They're both really go-lucky.
I pause this every 10 seconds, but I got some points here that I've never had blend up here, and I know I'm talking your ear off, Blenda, but you just tell me when to shut off and for me to shut up and when you're tired. Okay, so because I can talk about this all day long, but when she says it was just instinct for me to call 911. Okay, that might be instinct for you, but it's also instinct for you to look for your kids. It's also instinct for you to talk about your kids. And another thing about the instinct, Daniel says, Malehya said, should I call 911? And Daniel's like, well, yeah, obviously. But they also both use the word instinct a lot.
It's amazing because when my daughter disappeared, it never even crossed my mind to call 911. I was out that door so fast.
Mhm.
It didn't even cross my mind to get in my vehicle. My
Yeah.
daughter was on foot. I was on foot.
Yeah. 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 And we're talking about, they're saying what the last time that they heard Jack and Lily was about 9:40
Yep.
in the morning, and 10 o'clock they're already on the phone with 911.
Right.
Even though Janie said in her first interview with the RCMP that she thought the kids went missing around the time she got the call from her brother, which has always stood out to me. Right. I don't think they didn't have the
She
timeline.
got a call from her brother, or I think she stated she sent him a meme at 6 something in the morning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then when she shows the call from him afterwards, she doesn't show that 6 something call.
Nope, she doesn't. She sure doesn't. Another thing that was interesting to me from what I understand with the timeline, Ron was there. I know he lives close, but he was there even right before the RCMP was there.
Yeah. And now I never paid attention to it before, but I heard another creator state it's amazing that Daniel states when he come back, the police were just getting there. And he parked the car by the swamp because he didn't want to block them in.
That kid has said so much. He
Janie
said,
stated when she come out of the woods, she could hear the sirens. When she come out of the woods, she went to a trailer.
there's just absolutely no way Janie could have Malehya could have been on the phone with 911 at 10 o'clock, and she talked to Malehya while on the phone with 911 at 10 o'clock, and she went in there and got her boots and her jacket and everything on, and went up the hill and then went back to the very back and searched that little square around the area, and then came back and all conveniently didn't take her phone either, and come back, go inside and get her phone, and be standing beside Malehya at 10:20. There's just no way, not a chance.
Well, the only thing I don't understand is neither one of them wanted to be in the driveway with the police. Why?
When you say both of them, do you mean Daniel and Malehya?
No, Daniel and Janie.
Oh, gotcha.
Janie went right into her trailer because Malehya was talking with the police.
Mm-hmm.
Daniel was trying to get back into the woods, but they spotted him.
Yeah.
Neither one of them wanted to. It's like, are you kidding me?
Daniel wanted, or Daniel says, well, he said, he went searching for him, and he said he came back home and the RCMP wasn't there yet, and they arrived just a little bit later. And now he sticks to the story of the RCMP got there, and he pulls in
Yes.
down the road there at the little swamp beside of the house, and all eyes went on him, and they said, "Daniel, don't go back in the woods." How the hell
Hmm.
name? How did they know he was in the woods? Um, just a bunch of lies, and nobody should be lying on these two faces right here. Nobody, not a 4,
Right.
6 year
And
old.
Malehya has a message on to another creator's show. And
Mhm.
Malehya's words are she doesn't know why Daniel and Janie are lying. They're being truthful with the police, but it's okay to lie online. It's not
Mhm.
against the law.
Mhm. Yeah.
What kind of a mother would say that?
What? Yeah. What kind of mother would be okay with anybody? Well, then straighten the record
Lying,
out,
right.
Malaya. Get your ass out here and straighten the record up. How about that? Do it for these two little faces on the screen.
It just, yeah.
I get heated with this one. I'm sorry, Miss Belinda. I'm sorry. Try not to be disrespectful, but I get really bent uh, when these just you can't talk about your kids, man. I with your kids, you would burn the whole damn town down to find out an answer. Uh, bankrupt whatever, heaven and earth to find your kids. Um, just lies.
Jack was such a mommy's boy.
Mm-hmm. Well,
He was such a
boys.
mommy's boy.
Mhm.
It took him a while to warm up when she'd bring him for visits because he didn't want to leave her legs.
Yeah,
He didn't want her out of his sight.
boys are generally they say it's mommy's boys and daddy's girls, right?
Yeah.
And that's generally true. Um, uh, it's uh, it's beyond me whenever I'm just looking at little Jack and Lily in their eyes right now, and I just think, how, as a mother, do you keep it up? Like, it has to be exhausting to keep up with the lies that you have done, the lies that you have spoken on your children, and they're out there somewhere in Pictou County, Nova Scotia, and you lay your head down at night.
Yeah.
Um, they were very wronged in this world. Very, very wronged. But I always say, as much as I give Malaya hell and all of that, I do not believe Jack and Lilly Sullivan would be missing today if it wasn't for Daniel. I believe that with all my heart. Malaya pisses me off to no end, and I don't think she's innocent in this by far. But I do not think Jack and Lily would be missing if it wasn't for her choices in the relationship. Thank you, PGH. Thank you, love.
They're so sweet. They talk to anyone. They'll talk your ear off. They will speak to anyone in a store. Everyone. They're just extremely sweet kids. I appreciate the huge search effort going on right now. But we've been pushing for an Amber Alert, which hasn't been issued. Not just that they could possibly be abducted, which it is a possibility that they could have been, but just an alert to let everyone know that they are missing. We had people text me saying that they weren't aware someone else let them know that they were missing, and it would just be nice if everyone could be alerted.
Now, there wasn't an Amber Alert that went out because it didn't qualify for an Amber Alert because they weren't seen, getting in anybody's, seen being abducted or anything. But there was a missing child alert that went out
Yes.
around noon on
Yes.
Saturday. Right.
I didn't get it because it was only released in the local area.
Right. Right. But, in the vicinity, people got that, right? And I mean, the news picked up this very quickly as well, from what I understand. But, she says, it'd be nice if other people would know and, people's contacted her. But she's like, it is a possibility. It still is a possibility that they could have been abducted.
Yeah, totally change in her tone for that.
Mhm. Yeah. And this place is, I mean, what's the population of this area? 150, 200 people? Like, it's nothing. Nobody gets kidnapped here, let alone one child. 2 children is extraordinarily rare anywhere in Canada or the United
Even Janie states that there's no way they would have been abducted.
Yeah. There's just no way. Nobody around there is going to abduct those kids. Nobody. There wasn't a scent that led to anywhere with Jack and Lilly.
No.
There was a planted blanket, in my opinion, which is a whole nother story. There's these boot prints, in my opinion, again, planted, which they have taken Daniel's DNA for this said blanket as well, which the blanket story doesn't make sense either.
We thought maybe that we found tracks, but it's still uncertain. It's been raining and they're probably soaking wet, but with the sun today, I'm hopeful that they are feeling warm. We're all
What was your thought when she said that? They're probably soaking wet today, but today with the sun, we're hoping that they're warm.
Strange thing to say.
Mm-hmm.
It's a really strange thing to say.
Yeah, to me, it's
It rained really, really hard Friday night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that's all I could think, is that they were out in all that rain.
Well, so was Daniel, in my opinion, getting stuck on some trails. Piece of garbage, man.
filled with pain and sorrow.
Okay, here it is. Listen to this.
That they are feeling warm. We're all filled with pain and sorrow because we just want them found.
I think when everyone heard the pain and sorrow comment, we were all like, excuse me? Because sorrow is when you think of death.
Yeah.
That sorrow equals death. That's the only time you really hear sorrow. That is a gloomy word. That's not a panicked word. It's not full of action. You know what I mean? Like, you don't see panic here with Malehya. You know what I mean?
No,
like
she
the
wasn't.
urgency, the panic of urgency.
All day Saturday, she did not have anything panicked about her. The only thing that she kept stating is she's beside herself and she doesn't know what to do. Tell her what to do.
And I bet you she didn't know what to do. I bet you she didn't. nobody, and I mean, nobody knew what to do, essentially, right? But this is the thing: you don't know. Nobody knows what to do in these situations, but you get busy, right? You find the to do, right? You get busy searching, asking the questions, thinking, rehashing. Uh, was anything strange? But she there is no, and people's like everyone acts differently in these situations.
No, they
Everyone
don't.
acts, no, they fucking don't.
No, they
No,
don't.
they don't. It is the human condition to get your ass up and look, be proactive. Something. Uh, I don't care if you're a bottle of Valium, you get up and get energy quick. That adrenaline hits you to search when trouble happens. It's just it is it is what it is. Belinda, did she say when her phone broke?
She didn't say when it was broke. I've got the text for that. She just stated that she had no pictures, that her phone was smashed, was her word. Her
Mm,
phone was smashed,
mm,
and it's back. Gosh, I'd have to go back and read the text. I can send that to you
mhm.
later.
Yeah, you might have sent that to me before. I'm not. I'll check.
But,
But yeah.
but she did not say exactly when.
Hmm. Um, what's interesting about that is this phone thing came out later, and Malehya says Daniel likes to hold her down, and then take my phone, right?
I assume when she sent me the message, the feeling I got was there was some fight at home in the
Damn,
trailer and it got smashed.
damn
That's
right.
how I took it. But I know Daniel come out with a different story,
Oh, he
and
said
he
it got
said it got smashed at Patty's.
well. He said it got smashed on the sidewalk, and I said, Daniel, there is no sidewalk at your house. And then he came out
Mhm.
with, "Oh,
Yes.
well, it got smashed at Patty's."
Yeah.
You're so full of shit, Daniel. Um, mm-mm, no, no, it didn't. Uh, if it got smashed, you smashed it, Daniel. Because Malay isn't going to smash your phone. Um, so Malaya, I think there was a fight that night, and I think he smashed the phone and did a lot of other things that night. And you can't tell me, Miss Janie, that you didn't hear anything. She would have heard something.
Oh, I don't. Yeah. I know people like Janie, and I know where her trailer is and where the big trailer is. I know the noise that's inside my trailer, and when I go outside, what I can hear.
Hell yeah.
I live in a trailer, and it's almost identical to theirs.
Yeah.
Um, so I know Janie heard everything, and I know Janie's character. Janie had to know everything. She's a very controlling woman.
Yes. Yes. And you can't tell me that if the neighbors on each side could hear them going in and out that night, that someone that's as nosy as hell, and by the way, from what I understand, usually doesn't go to bed till very late in the morning, or early in the morning, shall I say, 3, 4 in the morning, um, didn't hear something as well.
But
Daniel
yeah,
admitted there was a fight. I didn't hear that.
mm,
I don't think he did.
I heard Daniel admitted that they had a fight actually in New Glasgow
When?
Thursday when they were in New Glasgow. That
Really?
they had a fight. And it was over money. That's what I heard from Daniel.
Interesting. I did not know that. Well, I think I think it was very tenuous Thursday. I think, in my opinion, Malehya was getting her car legal, and I think that that took a little bit of control out of Daniel, and that's jealousy. Afraid that Malehya is going to leave. I think he had that sense of her getting ready to leave. She got a car, got it legal. I think there was a fight over money, and I also think Malehya came back to see if she could get her, her checks and stuff straightened out.
I never really thought Malehya was going to leave him,
Really?
I'm assuming they fought, and I'm assuming she probably threatened to leave him many times. That's pretty
Sure.
common with young
Sure.
couples.
Sure.
But I never got that impression Saturday when I was talking to her. I never got the impression when she said he's been searching nonstop. You could actually hear the admiration in her voice when she was stating that he is doing everything he possibly can. I could hear that in her voice.
Interesting. Now, Daniel says, everything was fine until the, she went into the ambulance, and she said, whatever.
Cindy said to her,
Yes.
changed her. He said when she come out of the ambulance, he had a look that he had never seen. She had a look on her face that he had never seen before. It was almost like a look of disgust.
I think there was a come to Jesus meeting in the back of that ambulance. And in my opinion, I do believe Cindy knows more. That's just my opinion. It has nothing to affect what Belinda. Our opinions may completely different here, so don't judge Belinda on what I'm saying. But I think there was a come to Jesus meeting in that back, and it was, whatever happened, you better get your ass out of here, and separate
so
yourself.
too.
Yes.
I believe that too.
Yeah. And that's when Malehya's like, okay, prison or, get out of here. But,
Yeah, I think so too.
So, but that's just an opinion.
That they are feeling warm. We're all filled with pain and sorrow because we just want them found. We want them home. Everyone loves them. They are definitely verbal, and they do have possible autism, but it's not extreme.
Have you ever even heard Malehya talk about the kids having autism?
No, I asked her how they were doing in school. And she said they were doing good, that they were a little behind. They need extra work, but they were doing good.
Mm-hmm. See,
and when they were here, it never once dawned on me that Lily or Jack had autism. It never once even crossed my mind.
Mm-hmm. The thing that, in my opinion, I think is that Jack and Lily were two normal children. I do think that perhaps, just an opinion, again, doesn't mean it's a fact, but I do believe that they were behind because A, they missed 40 some days of school. B, their home life was hell, in my opinion, with lack of nutrients, fighting, rugs being in the home, and, in my opinion, physical abuse that could make them regress. You don't have to have autism to regress, by the way. Trauma, all of these things that I just mentioned can make a regular human being regress. So their brains and their bodies were growing. But I don't think that there was any autism at all.
Autism.
I never thought so.
You never thought so, yeah. And I was just curious if she had ever said that to you, because Daniel and Malehya were talking about the autism. Now, Daniel states now that that all came from Malehya, but it all did not come from Malehya. It did come from Daniel as well. Receipts on that.
Just they have issues with school, and they don't catch up with the other kids. I just want to remain hopeful. But there's always, in a mother's mind, you're always thinking the worst. Last night was one of the worst nights because I didn't have them in their beds.
You know, someone
Yeah,
just
that really jumps right out.
last night was one of the worst nights because I didn't have them in their beds.
Yeah, whereas last night should have been the worst night.
Yes. Yes. Last night should have been the worst night. Was one of the worst. I mean, they tell on themselves. I'm just still shocked that they didn't get in touch. I mean, I essentially knew before you knew, Miss Belinda, that the kids were missing.
Yeah. Yeah. So did a whole lot of other people.
That just blows my mind. Listen to that part again right there.
In a mother's mind, you're always thinking the worst. Last night was one of the worst nights because I didn't have them in their beds.
Last night was one of the worst nights because I didn't have them in their beds. Well, you didn't check on them apparently when they were in their beds anyways, Malehya. I don't believe they were sick either that night. I don't at all.
I don't think they were sick.
Because what did they get at the Dollarama? They supposedly got what, diaper rash cream?
Wasn't that gotten at the drugstore?
Or maybe it was at the drugstore. What did they get at the Dollarama? Just trying to remember what it was. But regardless.
They bought I think they bought rope.
Rope?
I thought they bought rope. I thought I read that somewhere. But I don't know. It might have been something that I just read too. So
my question is, if Malehya's phone was broke, did she get another one?
Well, I wondered that when she said to me that she had no pictures of the kids. So I told her I would send over all the pictures that I had of the kids. So it took me a while because I had quite a few pictures and they were on my tablet and my phone. So I sent them all to her and she said she really appreciates that she loves seeing the pictures that I post out, and that she has no pictures because her phone was smashed at the home.
Well, that would be interesting because they were at Walmart Thursday. That would be very interesting to see if Malehya was on her phone at Walmart or any time during the day on camera. You know what I mean? Because Daniel, he said that morning Malehya was on her phone, and then he said Malehya wasn't on her phone as well. Wednesday was Walmart, sorry. Regardless, whether it happened Wednesday or Thursday, yeah, she said she didn't have any up-to-date pictures because her phone was smashed, and that
he said she had no pictures whatsoever. So I sent her all the baby pictures I had as well.
I wonder if Daniel even let him take pictures, to be honest with you, most of the time.
Well, there's what we had noticed. She used to post pictures of Lily and Jack all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And then she started posting pictures of when she was pregnant and different projects her and Daniel were doing in the home.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish I would have saved all the pictures, but I only saved the pictures of Lily and Jack.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Um,
But we
Dan-
noticed that she slowed down, and I assumed, well, she's got a new baby. So life is really busy when you have a newborn. And I
Mhm.
assume that's why the pictures were kind of slowed down of her not posting out as many pictures. Then when she started posting out pictures again, we noticed more and more that it was pictures of the baby, and very few were Lily and Jack.
Well, Daniel had no pictures of Jack and Lily on his account.
Daniel doesn't have any pictures of Lily and Jack. Janie has no pictures of Lily and Jack. Earl had no pictures of Lily and Jack.
Mm-hmm. None of them. Deborah makes a good point. Rope for the swings and duct tape for the swing, Justin. Mm-mm.
And yet I actually had a couple of pictures of the baby because she was their sibling.
Sure. Yes, Malehya did delete her Wi-Fi calling app. She sure did, because she said she didn't use it anymore, so there was no need to, which is convenient. Having Starlink, you wouldn't needed that app.
Now, I questioned that too, that I heard early on that they had Starlink. The two boards that go up on the back deck, there's a platform on the top.
Yeah,
And
I've
it's
got a picture of that
right.
somewhere.
And I was told in the beginning that that was Starlink's because that's what their Starlink's machine looks like.
It is.
I have no idea.
It is.
So I question too, well, if they have Starlinks, why was it such a problem for everybody to have signal, even when the police were there? Why wouldn't they have just given their password?
Well, Daniel, when the news was there, Daniel was trying to give passwords to everybody, from what I understand. Even the reporters say that. He's like, hey, you're here. Do you need the password for the internet or whatever? Now, it is true that Malehya could not make a 911 call with the Text Now app. You cannot make a 911 call. However, she could have called through her Wi-Fi with her direct phone number.
Even
Just
if
that
you
simple.
don't have cell signal, I think you can still make a 911 call.
People get a little bit that confused. Now, most places in the area, so when you don't have any bars, 0 bars,
Yeah, I have that at my place.
right? You might not be able to make a regular phone call out. But when it shows the circle with the line through it,
That means absolutely nothing.
that
Yeah,
means zilch.
yeah.
Zilch. Now, when you don't have any bars, you still technically have 2.4 gigahertz.
Mm-hmm.
Then you can make a 911 call.
Yes.
Then you can make it. The only time you cannot make a 911 call is if that little circle with the line is through it, which is very, very rare.
Now, I know in her yard, I never tried using my phone in our home, but out at the end of her driveway, there was one spot right before you get to the main road.
Mm-hmm.
You can stand in her driveway and you can get a signal.
Mm-hmm.
But if you move a foot to the left or right, you'll lose that signal.
Well,
It's only in that one spot.
what's interesting on DT show, Janie was talking to DT, and they were talking about Malehya going and, she said that she had to go into a corner into the house to get a cell phone, service.
Signal, yes.
Yeah, and Janie said, "No, that you're not going to get any service in that house. You're just not." Um, and in the beginning, what I heard was, oh, she had to go out to the road to make a call or whatever. And the way Daniel talks in, I think the interview that he did with the CBC is that Malehya's outside in front of Janie's
Yep.
motorhome, standing out there making a phone call.
And he also stated into a chat earlier on that if Malehya put her phone up in the bedroom window, it would grab a signal. Now, I believe that because my place, like I said, I don't get cell service.
Mm-hmm.
But if I put my phone in a certain kitchen window, it might grab a bar.
Sure.
So I believed him when he said that she could put her phone in a bedroom window.
Yeah, I mean, and I do believe that, but here's the thing, was, if Malehya is standing outside, Daniel says he's running down the hill and Malehya is still on her phone. He said this in DT's interview. He said she was still on the phone, or she was looking at her phone, or she might have been texting on her phone. But nonetheless, she's coming down the hill. She's still on her phone.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you can't get service out there, then, and that's where she called 911. Then either none of that story happened, or Malehya called inside. She can't call from, she can't be inside right there and out there talking on 911 and talking to Janie and Daniel, seeing her while he's moving down the hill. It either had to happen one place or the other. You get what I mean?
Oh, I understand what you mean.
Yeah. So, but it was here's the screenshot, May 2nd, Friday, 10:01 a.m., 9 minutes and 45 seconds. That's quite a long phone call, 911 call. I would love to hear that. But Canada, they don't release them, do they?
Canada doesn't release nothing.
That's so frustrating.
Yes, it is.
Justin, didn't she do FaceTime with Cindy? She did FaceTime with Cindy the day before, when they were coming home, right? Or what was it?
Well, there's two stories of that. One story, the very first story, was she did FaceTime. That's how it shows that the kids were home at the trailer after they left New Glasgow, because Cindy did FaceTime. That story then changed to they did FaceTime on their way to New Glasgow in the vehicle. That was the second story I heard.
This is the Janie calling her brother that morning. And again, she does not show the 6 a.m. one, which I find very convenient. And she still hasn't yet to this day that I'm aware of.
No, she hasn't.
And why, Janie? Why have you not shown that? Inquiring minds would like to know. I have it. I'm sure you probably have it too, Miss Belinda. Do you have the text where Cindy texts Malehya that they were on their way?
I've got a screenshot of it somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah. Because Daniel made it up, in my opinion, that he says Cindy got there very quickly, very unusually quickly. after Jack and Lilly went missing, and that's just not true.
No, it's
That's
not. And that is what both of them have stated. Janie and Daniel stated that.
and it's not true. I've got text messages of Cindy. I had it here somewhere just a minute ago. I was going to pull it up, but of Cindy saying, we're on our way, and they tell her where to park and all that stuff. Let me see here if this is it. Details are important. Road was indeed not blocked. My uncle. Okay, that's something else. I have so many things on this case. It's crazy the amount of screenshots. Why do you think he would say something like that, in your opinion?
Why he would say what again, please?
Why he would say to make it paint the fact that like Cindy was there earlier than she was.
Because he was trying to tell me. I went back to the property on the 17th because, like I said, I had never met Daniel. So I went on the 17th because I wanted to introduce myself to Daniel. I wanted to talk to him.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't get a hold of Malehya at all. And I had questions. So he was the only one I could go to. And he painted the picture on the 17th to me that he believed it was Cindy and Haley. He said he's played that morning over and over and none of it adds up. He said he believes that Cindy and Haley took the kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I said, well, why would you think that? He said Cindy was supposed to visit with the children when they were at the grandmother's on Wednesday night. And Cindy called late at night and stated she couldn't make it. Her and Haley had something to do. He said, now, what would her and Haley have to do when she was supposed to come and visit the grandkids? And then he told me, and she showed up. He said, right after the cops got here. He said, now it takes over an hour to get from Truro to here. How did she get here in a few minutes? That's what he said to me.
Well, right here, missed audio call, 11:32 a.m. Park on the side of the road, 12:01 p.m. I'm on the way now. Malehya says, okay. A video call at 12:08 p.m. May 2nd at 12:24 p.m. Send Amber Alert. Tell the police to send an Amber Alert. So she wasn't even there at 12:30, 12:24. No. She still wasn't there.
Yep.
Kids have been missing 2.5 hours since then.
Mm-hmm.
Just another thing, in my opinion, Daniel has lied about. Did you ever notice this in the document? It says, I still remember that I sat on the bed. I gave Malehya a hug and everything, and then I literally passed out cold because I was so tired from searching all day, and I fell asleep at 9:09, he said. And then the RCMP, the other part of the blanket was seized from Malehya and Daniel's house by Corporal Rice on May 4th at 9:09 p.m. That's very specific. I think Daniel just remembered 9:09. And
so the police never took the other part of the blanket till May 4th?
That's it. That's exactly right. Not till May 4th. Which is interesting to me because Daniel says when they sent him, they found the blanket on the 2nd, he said, I immediately put 2 and 2 together.
Right.
And he said, he immediately went out to the trash and there was a hole in the trash where he stuck someone stuck their hand in. But yeah, 2 days later, they did not take the blanket until then. So I don't think that they were notified until later, in my opinion, about the blanket inside the trash.
Oh, you could be right, because he did make it sound like that kind of all took place in the same day.
Absolutely. He made it seem like it was immediately, like,
Mhm.
that, they went out there and,
Even to the point of he told me that Justin videotaped
yep.
him, but yet nobody has seen the videotape.
Let me find that real quick. Give me a second here.
So it's much more hard to, you know, get a good view from
Let me see here where he says it.
a picture of it, you know, splayed out on the ground. Officer.
Let's rewind then. So there's been a lot of.
Oh shit! Was that 404?
Involved in quite a bit of the, you know, just back and forth stuff between the command center and just trying to relay
something that they found close to the house, or
I'm not sure the location where it was found. There was a pink blanket, there was a water bottle, there was a children's t-shirt, and there may have been a sock or socks too, showing me as well, but none of them belonged to Lily's, right? I mean, none of them were Lily's, none of them were Jack's.
See how he says there, none of them were.
Those items that he just talked about right there, those almost sound like the same items that Brandon Lemieux found, because he specifically mentions a sock.
Yeah.
And those are the items that I know that Brandon Lemieux found.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But listen to what he tells on himself right there. He's like, none of them were Lily's. Right?
Uh-huh.
I mean, none of them were Lily's. None of them were Jack's. Right?
Yeah.
Now, listen to this.
Do you know if all those items were found at the same place, or were they found throughout?
I'm not sure where they were found. I was just told that, are any of these items Lily and Jack's? We found them during the search.
Were they photographed together?
No, they were not photographed. They were photographed individually.
Okay, so most likely then they were not found together.
Yeah.
And around what time was this blanket, the full one that didn't belong to them? When was that one found?
That was found. It would have been during the daytime. So because I remember I was actually standing on the front deck when she brought her phone up to show me. So that would have been sometime during the day. So I'm saying between noon and 4 p.m. probably.
So at 4 is when they found the pink blanket that was Lily's. That was a portion of the blanket, correct?
Yeah. I'm not sure on the exact time on that either. It would have to be after 4 because the school bus goes up there around 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
Well, I can't remember what time let me see here if I've got it. I can't remember what time they found that blanket, but it wasn't too terribly late in the afternoon. And he says, he talks about the bus. Well, the bus not seeing it, which is interesting.
And
because that school bus, it goes up and it actually goes up and turns on my Uncle Ron's house, which is about 500 feet past where the blanket was found.
Gotcha.
So
I think from what I know
goes
of,
up there, and the bus usually makes its way up there around.
Go ahead.
From what I know of, the bus camera would not have picked up the exact spot anyway. And the pictures that come from the bus were pretty degraded.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm reading the documents here. Mason said Mason were at Jack and Lily's residence on May 2nd, 2025, around 4 p.m. when Haley and Hayden and Hayden's girlfriend came out of the woods to say that they found a pink blanket in the woods in a tree in Lansdowne Station. They showed a picture to Malehya and Daniel, who confirmed the blanket belonged to Lilly. Gannon, how do you pronounce his name? Gagnon? Mason drove Haley, Hayden, and Hayden's girlfriend back to the location where they saw the blanket, seized the blanket. Martin and the police dogs were called to the area. He took photographs of the blanket. He walked about 1 kilometer in the area with the dog on the adjacent trail. They did not pick up a scent to complete a track. The other part of the blanket was seized from Malehya and Daniel's house by Corporal Rice on May 4th, 2025 at 9:09 p.m. at night. It was located inside a trash bag at the end of the driveway. On May 5th at 11:07 a.m., Gagnon showed Corporal Chuck the seized blanket, and she compared it to the image of the blanket seized from the residence. She believed they were pieces of the same blanket. Corporal Titchonchuk, whatever you pronounce his name, checked to confirm it was the same blanket. She drove to the location where the blanket was seized. She confirmed it was exactly 1 kilometer from Jack and Lilly's house. You know what this document doesn't say? It doesn't say Daniel showed them where the blanket was.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't say any of that, which, again, I've seen better written documents. I'm just going to tell you the truth. This, to me, wasn't very well written
It
compared
wasn't.
to a lot of others I've seen, even a lot of typos. But it doesn't say Justin or Daniel said, oh, it's in the trash here. Thank you, Miss Joyce. Very kind of you. Appreciate you. Justice for Jack and Lilly, prayers for Belinda and family, hugs. Thank you, Miss Joyce. Love you. Miss Joyce has been here since the beginning for Jack and Lilly. Thank you so much.
Yes, I recognize the name.
I'm telling you, there's some people that just follow this case religiously. And I'm so thankful to each of them. Now listen to what he says here.
I don't know, 3:55, between 3:55 and like 4 o'clock.
And
I find it very convenient that it's at the side of the road, a little bit like eye level to a freaking adult, where it could be absolutely easily spotted. First of all, Jack and Lilly couldn't put a piece of a blanket up in a tree like that to begin with.
And didn't Logan say that she was only seconds behind?
Yes.
Yeah.
She sure did. She sure did.
This bus has cameras, correct?
Yeah, the buses do have cameras. When they looked at the footage from the outside of the buses, the blanket was not there.
Interesting. And it went both directions, correct? It went.
Yeah, they go both directions. They have multiple buses.
And it was not seen at 3:55, 4 o'clock when the bus passed.
No, they said they did not see it on any camera footage from the buses. So
that is how far is the search command from where the blanket was found?
From the piece of Lily's blanket that was found in the tree, the actual command center itself.
Yeah.
It is okay. When you look at Lansdowne Station Road on the map.
Hold on. Let me just forward this.
I'll just wait for you here.
Do you see it?
Let me just forward this.
Right around the road that's center. I'm not sure. Like a clear time that was set up.
So around what time were you notified, and how were you notified about the pink blanket that belonged to Lily?
Thank you, Silver.
The pink blanket that belonged to Lily, I wasn't notified at all about that.
Again, the RCMP documents said that he was notified about that, him and Malehya. Why wouldn't they be notified about that? The RCMP documents said that they came out They said they found this blanket. Jack, or no, sorry, not Jack. Malehya and Daniel looked at it and confirmed it. Now listen to what he says after this. He says, I wasn't notified about this blanket. But then listen to what he says. Thank you, Leslie. Appreciate you, baby.
I was actually told there
Thank
was a
you, Sue.
piece of a pink blanket that was found up the road in a tree. And I said, piece of a pink blanket? Like, and I put two and two together. I ran out to the garbage bin, and I seen that there was a hole ripped in the bag.
So he says, I wasn't notified about this blanket, but I was told there was piece of a pink blanket. And I said, piece of a pink blanket. So I immediately, this is May 2nd, put two and two together. Well, I thought you weren't really around May 2nd, Daniel, number one, but you immediately put two and two together. Thank you, Deb. Appreciate you, baby.
Like, and I put two and two together. I ran out to the garbage bin, and I seen that there was a hole ripped in the bag, and clearly there was somebody who went into the garbage, or something went on with the garbage for a piece of that to be ripped out. Because usually when you look in the garbage bin, Daniel, and you see a garbage bag, usually it doesn't have a hand-sized hole ripped in the side of it.
The only hand-size hole, Daniel, is you. Sorry, Miss Belinda. But okay. You've seen this garbage bin, right, Miss Belinda?
Yeah. Yes, I have.
It's old, it's rickety, it's heavy,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
A 4 and a 6-year-old could not lift it because they're not tall enough, because it's so wide. They couldn't lift it to begin with. Number 2, they wouldn't have a freaking reason to be in the trash whenever they vanished and did all of this stuff in no more than 10 minutes, because they were playing outside in the yard for approximately 10 minutes. They had to get their shoes on, all that. They had to go outside, play a little bit, and then they couldn't have gone 10 minutes down the road, which a 4 and a
Right.
6-year-old isn't going to go far in 10 minutes,
Mhm.
especially together. Number 1. So they're not going to reach in this trash and get this blanket whenever they've got a backpack on them, which is bulky to begin with, these rubber boots, all of this. Second of all, how does one so think of a trash bag, right? Think of a trash bag. How do you uh just put your hand in this trash bag without tearing it uh and sticking your hand in there and taking it out? When you pull out the blanket, it's going to rip more,
Well, he
right?
kinda makes it sound like the bag was ripped exactly where the blanket was.
Well, his bag is ripped exactly where his blanket is, as too, in my opinion. I have there's two people that I've seen. Usually, people in these situations, they'll lie, but they won't lie astronomically. They'll just say, I don't know, or, they won't answer the question. Daniel Martell and Stacy Wandra are the two biggest blatant liars, in my opinion, that I have ever seen in true crime. They just think you believe everything that they say. Now, listen, watch his lizard lips.
The garbage for a piece of that to be ripped out. Because usually when you look in the garbage bin, Daniel, and you see a garbage bag, usually it doesn't have a hand-sized hole ripped in the side of it.
That's interesting. Now, the pink blanket, when they told you about it, did they show you a picture? The
Of
piece.
the piece of the blanket? No.
Oh, okay.
No.
So they just
That is absolutely wrong. The RCMP documents says that they did. It absolutely says it did. I just read it a second ago.
Did they show
They found,
him or did they show Malehya?
well, let me show you. I'll show you the actual RCMP documents right here. Okay, this is when they found it, all of them. They showed a picture to Malehya and Daniel, who confirmed
Ah.
the blanket belonging to Lily. Right there.
Hmm.
Right there. See, Miss Belinda, you and I can get places together because you know things and I know things, and we're moving on down the road like we're getting somewhere with this. It's tearing more lies out.
they found a piece, and you went to the
Piece of
Just
when
listen to
they
that.
told you about it. Did they show you a picture? The
of
piece.
the piece of the blanket? No.
Watch his tongue,
Hmm.
his lizard tongue. He's so easy to read. He's so easy to read. No.
No.
Okay, so they just told you they found a piece, and you went to the garbage bin. And
Yeah.
where in the garbage bin was the bag that had the other part of the blanket? Was it towards the
Okay,
top, in the middle,
there
the
was
bottom?
these were like large industrial sized garbage bags, right?
Okay.
And Mom would always yell at me, you know, don't put so much garbage in one bag, because I would always make the bags like really heavy, right?
Okay.
And so I had the blanket was in a garbage bag.
Now, you know, Malehya said she was the one that put the trash, or the blanket out there, right?
He said she put the blanket in the trash. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. But Daniel is saying here that he put the blanket in the trash. And Malehya says in the documents that she put the blanket in the trash.
Okay, but not to be a devil's advocate,
No,
but
please be a devil's advocate. Please.
okay. Maybe she put it in the trash in the house and he's the one who took the trash out to the bin.
No, let me see if I can pull that up quick enough while this is playing, because I do believe I want you to be a devil's advocate because that kind of tests our theories. I think she said she took it out to the garbage, is what I'm thinking it said in those documents, though. But let me see if I can find that. But if not, I'll send it to you offline. I'll find that part and send it to you, because I'm pretty sure that she said she took it out to the trash.
That's the same time. Excuse me.
You're fine.
That's the same time when she said that the bigger piece was used to block a window.
Yeah. Take a drink. Take a drink. You got choked on something.
Yeah.
Take your time. Let me play this.
Bag, but there was another garbage bag that was inside, right? So it was like double bagged.
Interesting.
And you could see I keep wanting to say a hole that was ripped in the side from a hand that went down inside of it and, you know, pulled something out. But it looked to be like somebody put their hand in there and ripped it out. But the bag, the blanket was still at the bottom of the bag, right?
You okay?
Yeah. She said the bigger piece of blanket was used to cover a window or something, and the smaller piece was ripped off that big piece, and that blocked a draft at the bottom of the door.
So there should be 3 pieces, right?
Well, that just makes 2. The bigger piece that was up to the window, and then the small piece to the door, unless the part in the tree is a 3rd piece.
Yes, because there was still a piece of the pink blanket in the trash, right? So they had it up to a door or whatever. It ripped, right? So they threw that away, and then someone goes in the trash and rips off a piece of the blanket and puts it in the
Oh, right. That would
tree.
make 3 pieces.
Yes. Yes, 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 yes.
Because he
And
doesn't state it's the small piece that used to block the draft, or did Malehya clarify that already and state that?
well, they said it was for a window, then they said it was a door, then they said something else. I've got all the notes on it, but let me just let me show you this. And then, can you tell me if you saw this pink blanket on the porch that day you was there?
I didn't notice the blanket.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did
There's
not notice the blanket.
everyone talks about this pink blanket being on the porch as well. Yep. Lion, little thing.
Inside of it. And
Now, did Cheryl or Haley, one of them stated about it was over a railing?
Yeah, that's over a railing in that picture.
Huh.
It's really blurry, but yep, it sure is. It sure is. Section 2938. 1 second here.
It's a shame that picture's blurry because her blanket was an LOL doll one.
Mm-hmm.
So that
Well,
had a lot of design on it.
yes. Well, you remember there was a pink blanket in the window in Jack and Lily's, or one of the windows right
Yeah,
there.
that was a solid pink one.
Okay. Well, and then it was gone.
Yeah, and then it was
now
put
there's
back up again afterwards again.
Mhm. Which I
Yes.
found very, very interesting as well. Very, very interesting as well. I'm looking at let me see if I can
pulled something out, but it looked to be like somebody put their hand in there and ripped it out. But
Now,
the
well, the
bag, the blanket was still at the bottom of the bag, right? It wasn't pulled all the way out. It wasn't anything like that. So
was the trash bag in the bottom of the can or on top of like all the other trash?
it was the garbage bag. That one big garbage bag. That was like a 60-pound garbage bag, and it was that was the only bag that was in there.
Oh,
Was-
okay. So there wasn't
that
any
one?
other trash on top.
No,
of it.
there was nothing else on pile on top of it or underneath it.
So if somebody opened the bin, that's the first thing that they would see.
Yeah, they would be able to see the pink blanket in there. Yeah.
Okay. And so it seems like in the documents that it alludes that they showed you guys a picture and that you guys confirmed it. Was that, if you didn't see a picture, do you know if Malehya did?
I'm not sure if she did or not. I have no idea. Because I actually wasn't present at the house very much during the search because I was just out in the woods searching, man.
Understood.
Like
And
I poured my heart and soul into just searching as hard as I could.
I can imagine. And you're out there searching. Did you find out that night or was it the next day about the boot prints?
I actually found out, I think it was the next day. And then when I asked investigators when the boot print was found, they told me they weren't sure on the exact time it was found, but they thought it was found during the middle of the night.
Okay. And I know, and I made a mistake, guys.
How does he not know whenever he is like the ones living there? You know what I mean? Like, how do you not know this stuff is going on? It's beyond me. Saying I think it was like if you found a boot print or a blanket of your, or you even thought it was your kids, you would be all over that.
Now, the funny thing is, Malehya never stated nothing to me Saturday about a boot print being out in the driveway. She never said a word about that, but she told me about the prints up on the
Yeah,
pipeline.
that would be one of the first things you would say, right? And see,
Yeah.
Daniel, even still to this day, he only wants to talk about the boot print in front of Janie's. He
Right.
doesn't want to talk about the boot prints that is actually in the RCMP documents.
Right. And of course, our police force, they won't even clear simple little things that mean absolutely nothing because a part of me does not believe that print was in the driveway at all.
Oh, I think it was. I mean, I think it. I think it was there, but I think it was. I mean, what?
What? I mean, Janie made such a big deal of it, but why wouldn't Malehya have told me? But
you
she
might
did
be
tell
right.
me about the pipeline.
You might be right on that. Let's just think of this. Okay, Janie is inside. Malehya is supposedly outside in front of the RV. Daniel's up there looking for the kids. Janie comes out, confronts Malehya. They're standing right there in front of the RV where the boot print was found,
Mm-hmm.
right? They're going to be stepping everywhere. You know what I mean? Like, how do you, like, there's going to be people coming in and out of there. How would they know that this was Jack or Lily's? You know what I mean?
Not just that, but the kids' footprints on that embankment, there was multiple prints up
Mm,
and down that embankment.
hmm.
And it did look like the kids played there a lot.
Yeah, or it was just fucking planted, in my opinion, to make it look. I mean, but the thing about it, Janie the night before, she looked like she looked like she was raking from behind the house, like all that dirt from behind the house out front there. Am I right?
Now, there is a picture. I've got it in my gallery somewhere, so it would take me a while to find it to send it to you.
Mhm.
I have a picture of that embankment where it shows frost. Then there's a bare spot, and then right on the other side of that, there's frost. So I assume that is where she had hauled the dirt down from because there was no frost there. I'm not sure if I'm muted or if you're muted, Justin.
I'm muted. I apologize. Sorry, it's me. So this is the document where uh, Malehya talks about blanket. Now listen to this. Malehya confirmed the blanket belonged to Lily. It was previously used to block a window, and the other half was in the garbage bag. Haley thought, but she heard this from other people. Haley said the cops went to the area and took the blanket. The canine came out and walked the trail. Oh shit! This wasn't it. Let's see. Okay. On June 12th, 2025, Robinson obtained a statement from Hayden. Hayden said Malehya is his sister and Jack and Lily are his niece and nephew. Hayden said he got a text that the children were missing on May 2nd, 2025, so he went to Lansdowne to help. His grandmother, Patty, went with him. Hayden went with Haley and his girlfriend, Emily, to search. They drove around, and Hayden saw a piece of fabric in the tree. He told his sister to stop so he could go look at it. Hayden said it was a blanket on a branch. Wait a second. I thought they were like walking and searching. What?
Yeah, now that could be just the documents too, because like you said, they really mess up a lot.
But but to stop in a car and to walk up to something is way different. I don't know if they could be messed up that.
Well, considering, isn't it a car that apparently Brandon's seen?
Yes. Yes, and to me that confirms Brandon's stories
Mm-hmm.
way more accurate. Sure does. Yeah, because it says Hayden went with Haley and his girlfriend Emily to search. They drove around, and Hayden saw a piece of fabric in a tree. He told his sister to stop. See, that's not a typo. I guarantee you that, because they're driving around and he told her to stop so he could look at it. Hayden said it was a blanket on a branch. He said it looked like it could have blown there or someone threw it there. He said the tree was a small, bushy tree, more of an elder. He said the blanket was hanging 3 to 3.5 feet off the ground and hung up like a bath towel. He described it as pink, fuzzy, girly blanket. It was located right on the shoulder of the main road at the corner. He said they went right back and got the police officers who came to look at it. The canine unit came and took the dog up the trail. Hayden said he took a photo of the blanket on Emily's phone and went back to show Malehya. Malehya said it might be Lily's, but she threw it out in the garbage. Hayden said he did not know what happened to the blanket after that. Hayden said there is also clothes on the ground, but they looked old and ripped up.
Hmm.
Something stinks here, Miss Belinda.
Yes, it certainly does.
Thank you, Clippy. Thank you, baby. Something stinks there. Now, what was the guy's name you just mentioned?
Brandon?
Brandon. Who what did he say again? Can you go over that? I know I'm talking your ear
Brandon
off. I'm
stated
sorry. I'm sorry.
Brandon stated that he seen a vehicle that morning,
Mm-hmm.
and there was 3 people in the vehicle, or no, 3. Now there's names put to these people. Now he's outright stating it was Emily,
Yes.
it was Hayden, and they're still not sure about the third guy.
Uh-huh.
And Janie's brother, Alvin, I believe it was standing outside on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he said he seen Emily running out of the woods,
Mm-hmm.
and she showed him a spot. Well, she wanted to know if he was police and all that, but she showed him a T-shirt. He states there was no blanket there. It was a T-shirt that was spread out across the bush.
Mm-hmm. Well, Brandon's right about the driving around, because I'm looking in these documents. It's so good to have you up here with this, because now I can know what you know on this. Listen to this. On July 12th, they talked to Emily, who is Hayden's girlfriend. They were staying at Patty's, and she woke up to a phone call saying the children were missing. They went out there and started to help search. She went with Hayden and Haley in the woods. They drove around. They drove around.
Yeah.
They saw kids' clothing hanging on a tree. Kids' clothing
He
hanging on a
didn't
tree.
say blanket.
We're getting somewhere, Miss Belinda. We are getting somewhere, Miss. That's right. They didn't say fucking blanket. Just exactly what Brandon said,
Mm-hmm.
and just exactly what she said. Brandon is absolutely right.
It's a shame they never thought to ask her when she said she was staying at Patty's and asleep, and she got a call that woke her up. I'd love to know what time that call come in.
I was thinking that too. Well, because it says early. Hold on. What does it say? They were staying at Patty's, and and she woke up to a phone call saying that the children were missing. What time was this phone call?
Yeah. Well, we know the police would know because I'm hoping they would have checked.
Justin, I think it's a different location where Brandon seen them. I don't know about that.
Not that I was told.
I don't think so either. Yeah. I think you might. Yeah. Okay. So she went with Hayden and Haley in the woods. They drove around. They saw kids' clothing hanging on a tree. There was no other clothing or anything hanging on a tree at all, period. The only thing that was hanging was that blanket, allegedly, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Brandon says there was no blanket hanging
Right.
when he saw them. They got out of the car and were looking at them. They didn't touch them because they thought it might be evidence. Emily said there were 2 shirts and a blanket. 2 shirts and a blanket. Okay. The blanket was hanging in the tree and the clothes were on the ground. See, I don't believe them. They're making up some of this because she just said they saw kids' clothing hanging on a tree. And then she says there's a blanket hanging on a tree and 2 kids' shirts. The blanket was hanging in a tree and the clothes were on the ground. Emily took photographs as soon as she got out of the car. Emily, produce those photographs. Come on, girl.
Yes,
Malehya.
Brandon did have a picture that he sent me of the pink shirt over a bush.
And how far was this from the blanket?
The blanket wasn't there at that time. He didn't see any blanket.
The blanket was hanging in the tree and the clothes were on the ground. Emily took photographs as soon as they got out of the car. They drove back and asked Malehya if the clothing belonged to the kids. Malehya said the blanket belonged to Lily, but the clothing did not. They then told police, who went to investigate. Emily looked the data of the photographs and saw they were taken May 2nd at 3:24 p.m. 3:24 p.m. Does Brandon give a time?
Yeah, he gives a time. It's in the morning. Gosh, let me try to remember. I thought it was handy 10 o'clock in the morning. 9:48, 9:40, something like that, I thought.
Now that's interesting. That's very interesting. So does Brandon, are you watching right now? If you're watching, please write something in the chat, please. Don't stay in the bushes, please. Okay. So does Brandon see Emily and Hayden and them?
You're muted again.
Oh, does Brandon see Emily and Hayden and them?
Right
Can you hear
on
me?
Lansdowne Station Road.
Sorry.
Sorry, right on Lansdowne Road. My mistake.
And he sees them that morning?
Yes.
And does he give a time?
I thought the time was around 9:40.
Does he have he gave you a picture? Does he have the metadata when he took that picture?
Oh yeah, he's got all that.
That's very interesting. Amazing. It's amazing to me that people get threats whenever they're trying to look for a kid. You can F right off if you think a little threats is going to stop anybody. Go fuck yourself. Thank you, Michelle, for the unk alert. Appreciate you. That's very interesting because Brandon.
Okay, the time was 10:38 and 10:48
a.m.
Yeah.
And how far does Patty live from Malehya?
Well, Patty was still in her home at that time, so that's in Truro.
But how far is that?
It would be about a 45 to 50-minute drive.
So there was no way that they could have there's no way that they could have called 911 and then called Patty's home and for Malehya's brother to be there in that time.
No.
Interesting. Okay. So when Brandon is there, there's just clothes. There's no pink blanket. So this pink blanket had to be planted between, we'll say, 10:30 and 3:34 p.m. on the 2nd. Yes, Hayden says he drove Patty to the home, right?
Now, I don't know if we've gotten exactly the time of when Patty arrived. We've got a time when Cindy basically got there. But what about Patty? What about Cheryl, Haley? Did they all arrive there at the same time?
Well, who called him and told him all this as well?
Now, someone in chat stated when Malehya couldn't get a hold of her mom, she called Patty.
Yes.
But apparently, going by Emily, I guess Emily got a text too.
Emily, Hayden's girlfriend. Yeah, Emily said, as Hayden's girlfriend, they were staying at Patty's and she woke up to a phone call. Well, she doesn't say her phone call, but she woke up to a phone call.
Yeah.
A phone call. So
Right.
I just
So it could be his, yes.
Yeah. This is very interesting. I'm going to have to do some. I've actually got Hayden's letter that he wrote somewhere. I just don't know where the hell it is. But I definitely have it somewhere. He put out a message, didn't he? I'm trying to find it real quick, but I'm not sure if I'll have. But he put a post out, wasn't it? Let me see here. Sad me too. They have such. Daniel says here the blanket site was searched multiple times. The pipeline where the footprint was found multiple times. The dog also did the property here. Okay, that's something. Bear with me, guys. I'm gonna have to get with AB on something and see if this is interesting. We need to find out more because someone helped Daniel that morning. Someone helped Daniel. And whatever that was something happened.
Well, the only thing with me that, besides Malehya saying they stay out back, is everybody kept stating that no, Justin wasn't living there. Justin wasn't there. He lives quite a distance away. But then Logan was on another channel, and somebody asked Logan how Justin was doing. She said, well, Justin has his own problems. He's in the middle of a divorce.
Yeah.
And that made me think, well, maybe that's why he was staying at his mom's.
1,000%. 1,000%. There's I was told that Justin was having problems with sorry, I'm trying to look for something at the same time. I was told Justin was having problems, and he was staying with his mom for a minute. And Janie is, in my opinion, protecting her kids. If you got one involved, can you imagine if you got two involved? That's going to be even crazier.
Yeah.
So I just I think it's Brad. He said the last call. If any of my mods or anybody in chat, if you've got what Brandon said on those posts, can you email me or text me to that number right there? I greatly appreciate it. Justin, Chance, and Adam, in my opinion, helped Daniel clean up. I don't know. I really don't know, but I do believe it was either, I think it could be Justin. I think it could be, think about Malehya's family, okay? Malehya's family, may want to throw Daniel completely under the bus, but can't if, for instance, her family is involved.
Yeah.
Right? So it's a catch-22. So that kind of makes me question some of Malehya's family as well. You know what I mean?
That's where I've been at.
So that would make it a little weird, if you ask me. So if her, from what I understand, her and Hayden are they half or full siblings?
They're full siblings.
Yeah, they're pretty close, right?
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Hayden, he stayed off Nana Patty's a fair bit too. That he would go back and stay with his mom from time to time, but he spent a lot of his time at Patty's. When Cody and Malehya lived together, Hayden spent a lot of time with them. And when she used to bring the kids for visits, Hayden used to come. Whoever was driving apparently had dark-colored skin.
Oh shit, I was muted. I'm sorry. I
I
apologize.
wasn't sure if you were muted or if you were looking up something.
No, sorry, I was muted. I'm just gabbing away there. Um, yeah. So who would have dark colored skin out of them? Does any of them?
Well, there has been a guess of a name checked around, and
Mhm.
like I said, I find it
You
hard
can text me if you
to,
want to say.
yeah, that it is somewhat of a relation, a roundabout way,
Okay. I think I know where you're going with that. Okay. I got you. I
right?
got you. Okay. I don't guess anybody has that. Well, Miss Belinda, I know it's so late where you're at.
Yeah, it's
12:01.
1 o'clock.
I've talked to you for 3.5 hours, but will you do this again with me?
I most certainly will. That
Okay. I would
I
greatly
I
appreciate
want to
that.
talk to anybody that wants to listen.
Yeah. Yeah. I know. I know. We want Jack and Lily found, um, and justice served. We really do. Uh,
I
they,
appreciate I appreciate you sticking with this.
of
I know
course.
a lot of people get attacked. I know a lot of people are nervous of speaking out because everybody gets attacked. And
That's what I
I'm
say to
glad
those
that you
people.
guys are still brave that you don't care.
Boy, let me tell you something. This case, you think this case is toxic. I mean, there are toxic people in this, I get it. And it's a lot for you guys and stuff like that. But listen, I try not to get in the drama of it, of the back and forth with other people. I try to just stick to my lane, my research, and don't really, call me whatever they want. Call me whatever they want. You know, I my subscribers know who I am. And people know, what I mean. So I don't get twisted and bent up.
Well, that's good. I can say that I'm totally where you're at. I get hurt. I get
Good.
hurt thinking that people can be this way with two kids missing. It just, I
Yeah.
don't understand it at all. But
Yeah.
I tell myself I don't care because as long as they're missing, I'm going to still talk.
Yeah. Love you guys in chat too. You guys are so sweet.
Yes,
Um
thank you guys so much.
they but yeah, you're right. You're right. I mean, this is nothing you sign up for. You're a victim in this as well. And nobody should be attacking a grandmother who is just trying to find her grandchildren. Uh, you know, th- th- Thank you, Happy
I
Turtles.
waited
Appreciate you.
for Malehya to speak up. I would have been right by her side.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. It would. This is the thing. Um, when we do this, we have to have our mind set on it. Really is about the missing, right? And Malaya should be speaking up for Jack and Lily. Uh,
Yes, she
Whether
should.
she gets attacked or not, or people criticize or not, you're speaking whether you get criticized or not, right? I speak whether I get criticized or not.
Right.
This is the thing to do, right? And because another creator doesn't like us, or we disagree with the creator or something, we shouldn't make it about us. It's not about us and how we feel. It's about the missing. That's what it's about. That's it. That's
Yeah.
nothing more, nothing less. It is just about Jack and Lily. My opinion on something is not going to change uh, a damn thing, right? And like I tell my subscribers almost in every case, I am one of 8 billion on the planet. I just have my opinion. You can have yours, right? And the common goal should be finding Jack and Lilly, keeping their name out there for awareness, keeping their name in the algorithm. Of course, I do, a lot of other cases and stuff, but there are cases that come along that I don't want to say are special, but are special to each of us creators for whatever reason. And Jack and Lilly, Sebastian Rogers, Summer Wells, Michael Vaughn, like those are ones that are very, uh, I hold very close. I've talked to everyone, all the family members and all the cases and stuff. And, we
You
just
know, the
want
only
to,
thing I don't understand is I've heard from her side of the family that while they don't speak with YouTubers, that I don't understand that. They know where we live. We don't get news. If it
right.
wasn't for you
Mhm.
guys talking of Lily and Jack,
Mhm.
we wouldn't hear their names anywhere.
Right. I mean, listen, there's, it's a whole nother subject and stuff, but some of the things some of YouTubers have done and even things I've done that I've, not particularly proud of, um, especially when you're a newer YouTuber in this, like, especially people, in my opinion, that make it, they make it about them, uh, and they stop thinking about Jack and Lily. What you'll see in a lot of these cases, and I've talked about it ad nauseum, uh, that many of these YouTubers, in my opinion, they're not trained enough, really, that they will get close to one of the family members, one of the parents particularly, and they will see all the niceness. Um, of course, Malehya is going to show you her best side. Daniel is going to show you his best side, and they start getting an emotional attachment uh, with Daniel or Malehya or one of them, and they let that dictate on how they see the case, and that is a really bad thing. And then they'll start defending more of Malehya or Daniel, and not defending Jack and Lily. They lose that. And I have seen it a billion times. Not really a billion, but a lot of times. And I never let what I think about a family member um, change my objective on these cases. I don't either, Joyous. I don't like the conflict between creators either, and that's why I try to be nice to everybody. Um, I don't talk about other creators in my chat. I don't allow my chat to talk about other creators as well. I might not agree with everything every creator does. I appreciate them, keeping the word and stuff out, but we all get lost a little bit along the way sometimes. But the focus needs to be on Jack and Lily. And I've just seen it so many times. I've seen it so many times. And I don't let your feeling about someone's niceness uh, separate. Don't let the feeling go toward it. Don't let the emotion get in the way of the facts, right? The facts are Malehya, Daniel, and Janie were on that property. They said that they were in bed together all morning. one says they woke one up, the other one said, like, those are facts that they say happened, right? And they don't make sense. Daniel could be nice to me till the day of judgment. Malehya can be nice to me till the day of judgment, but the discrepancies don't make sense. And that's not going to change. They're not going to be able to clear that up after a year. After, coming out and trying to, tape it until it just digs them the wrong way. Whenever
Yeah.
if you're truthful in the beginning, nothing has to change. Thank you, PGH. Appreciate you, dear. Thank you, Ben Summer. Appreciate you. So, I want to keep Jack and Lily's name out there. And I don't know how you feel on this case, because I know you have to be very discouraged at times. Very, very discouraged. I completely hear you. I can't say that I understand, because I've not been in your position. I've had a murder in my very intimate family. So I get, I get it, but I don't. You know what I mean? And we've just got to continually keep it out there. We just can't quit until justice is served.
Yeah, I'll worry about the after when the after comes. I want to get there first.
Well, like I say, we're not even halfway through it until someone is arrested
Yeah.
or they're found, right? And that's when we're technically halfway through it. But I don't know if you think the RCMP is making progress or not, but I know it's slow, and you may feel completely different. But I do believe, in my opinion, that the RCMP is making progress, and they're being very strategic right now.
I'm hoping so. I'm really hoping so. I still have faith that they know what they're doing. We had a young fella that went missing, and I know it took 2.5 years before charges were laid. Everybody basically knew what happened, but it still took 2.5 years. So I've kind of set myself to know that we might have a little ways to go yet.
Yeah. I think we do have a little ways to go yet, but I do think that there are people that's scared right now. I think that they're very scared, and you can see it.
I certainly hope so.
You can see it. You can sense it. I mean, if you think the RCMP is, watching you whenever you're out of signal of a cell phone, and the helicopters are flying over you, I think you're a little nervous. That's my opinion. I do believe they're watching, though, very closely. And, I think it's Rob McGammon, or however you pronounce his name. I think you can tell that this keeps him up. This case does. And to me, I think he really cares, and he promises that he's not going to stop until.
Yeah, well, I'm going to hold him to that promise.
You and I both, sister, and a lot of others. We are. I wish Daphne and I could come up there and go incognito for about a week.
I would offer you to stay here, but I only have 2 bedrooms.
Oh, I would just love to. But the problem is I go live every day. I'd have to start making videos and pre-recording some videos so they would know I was out of town. Which I did that once with another case. I kind of slacked off my videos. I knew I was going out of town for a minute, and I went kind of undercover for a little bit. With, another case. So, but Jack and Lily are out there, and they're going to be found. And I hope the justice system in Canada sticks it to them. What is up with Canada and the laws, man?
Yeah, it's
y'all go way too
it's
damn
not
easy.
good.
Y'all
It's
go
not
way
good.
too easy on these people.
Yeah. Well, we don't believe in criminals anymore. They're not even referred to as criminals in the prison systems. They're called clients, I think is a new term they use now.
I get there's a thing as human rights, right? But in America, once you become a felon, you have limited rights. There is limitations on your rights because you have essentially, broke your trust, I guess you could say. So, it just gets a little stupid to me with that. But I do think they will hold these people's feet to the fire a little bit more because I think there's going to be a lot of public pressure. There is a lot of public pressure to do that. And I think that matters. I think that really matters for keeping Jack and Lily's name out there. That there is this public interest always until they are found. And then after they're found and arrest, that there is a continuous public interest for the pressure because police, RCMP need pressure on them as well. They do. Because it makes them work harder. It makes them.
It's a steady reminder that nobody's giving up.
Yep. Thank you so very much, Miss Belinda. You have been extremely generous with your time. I know you're tired. It is 12:18 here, and it's 1:18 where you're at.
Yeah.
I do appreciate you. I know I talked your ear off, but I think we had a really good conversation.
Yes, and yes, I will do it again. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We'll be in contact. I really appreciate you. I think we learned some very interesting things from each other this evening.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and I'm going to find some of those pictures I was telling you about.
Please do. And I'm going to look at those court documents and find that thing with Malehya, what she said too, and I'll send it to you.
Okay, thank you. Good night. Good night, everybody, and thank you for being here.
Thank you, Miss Belinda. Good night, honey. All right, guys, that's Miss Belinda. Really, really do appreciate you guys staying up late with me. You guys are absolutely amazing, amazing pearls. I really do appreciate my mods and my members and everyone in chat. Please share this live stream out. I would greatly, really 100% appreciate it. Hit the thumbs up button. That's another way to help the algorithm for this video. Also, if you can hype this video on your phone or your tablet, it has to be after the live stream. Another way is you can comment after this live stream down below. Hashtag justice for Jack and Lily. Justin, you look like a buffoon. Hi, a smiley face. Whatever. I don't care as long as it pushes the video out. That's all I care about. So others can see Jack and Lily's face. That's what matters. Thank you for sharing, Carol. Thank you, Teal. Good to see you, Miss Daff. When I get my vehicle, I'm going to enjoy parking in front of DM's Well, Daniel's probably got 50 drones watching him right now, right? As he not watches us right now, right, Daniel? You don't watch us. Neither do you, Janie, do you? So that's why it doesn't matter if I put this picture up, or this picture up, or if this is an actual picture of Daniel, what he's going to walk like when he's in prison, right here. That's an actual picture of Daniel right there. Here's an actual picture of Janie judging me at the store when I was going at the pharmacy when I was checking out with nothing but lube and Reese cups. Didn't appreciate it, Janie. So whatever. Judge me. Don't care. Thank you, Broman. Appreciate you very much. You are amazing. Thank you, my friend. I'm going to have faith that the RCMP puts this together and finds answers. They will. They will. The things that I know and a couple others know that even hasn't been said, and the things that we have broken down here for the last 14, 15 months of just the endless lies, it shows you right there. It shows you right there. Any word on Shannon? From what I understand, Shannon is in the hospital right now, and please keep her in your prayers. She's in the hospital. Yeah, I don't want to say too much, but please keep her in your prayers. Yeah, I think it was a really good interview. Drones only watching him at night when it is dark with their red, white, and blue light bar flashing. That is correct. That is correct. Hey, Cal, good to see you, baby. How you doing? BGH, Captain. Heard she got out today. Heard who got out today. Oh, Shannon? Good. I'm glad she's out now. Good. All right, guys. Love you all. Really do appreciate you. Justice for Jack and Lilly Sullivan. Please don't forget to hit that thumbs up, double tap the screen, comment down below after this live stream, hype the after the live stream with your mobile device, your phone or your tablet. Love you guys. Thank you again, Belinda. Special thank you to mods, members, chat, everyone. Appreciate you. Good night, everyone. Lord willing,